Hello and welcome to the ninth session of Jake, session 29, lovingly titled The Moonlit Dungeon. We'll get to it in a second. Fran, I'm gonna have to apologize. Your face is right where all of our ads are today. So I'm gonna move those around so we can actually see you. Of course,
Me?
it's no, Freya, not younger.
It happens. Feces occurs.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's gonna change in a minute anyway when Spain gets here. So you're just gonna be off in the corner. We see you. You're there. I swear. When you talk, I'll just click on your face here. There you go. Just kind of like lean to the left just a little bit. Sorry, other left. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. it looks wonky, but I love it.
All right. That's the premium. You have to subscribe to see Freya's face.
Yes. All right. So, let's get a quick recap of where we finished last time. What we're doing, what our goals are, and then how the DM can mess it up this week. Because our polls this week said definitively that there needed to be a dungeon. So I have lovingly crafted a dungeon. And the story implementations will be great. So let's get a quick recap. Where we're at, what we're doing. Fill me in.
So
there you
go. We definitely introduced our new characters after the great tragedy. So we introduced the new cast, and that was the last thing we did. So we fought the dragon. We got the new cast, and we were hanging out in what town were we? Were we in Ashmore? We weren't in Ashmore yet.
Ashmoon, but yes.
Ashmoon.
You guys had made it to Ashmoon. We kind of yada the traveling because it was a couple weeks worth of non-important time frame. That nothing crazy happened.
First of our sea voyage.
We haven't. Oh, the new characters. The new characters, yes, have bonded together and are relatively friendly. They got a basic introduction. And tonight's session is really going to be used to flush out their characters a little bit more. But to start out, we in our week's discussion beforehand realized that we totally forgot to go over what happened at that Lords meeting with Profi and the other Lords back in Finn. So we're gonna cutscene that really quick. And then the thing me and you had talked about will happen sometime randomly in this dungeon that is coming up. Spoilers, there's going to be a dungeon. So, I mean, unless you guys 100% like say no dungeon, FUDM, then I will cry, and we will move on. But that aside, jumping into our previous characters, so Lawrence is important for you. And who else did you bring with you to this engagement with the nobles? And this is pre-dragon fight, obviously, because you're not alive.
Okay. At the time, I believe everyone was spread out doing something different in the town.
Correct. So this is after you've met them. You told them that you would bring the prince the following day, and basically this would have happened before we talked to the Finnish Legion or went to the bandit camp.
Right. So yeah, and I'd actually
anyone you want, for the exception of the giant robot because he is currently not here.
Right. Okay. So when Barry did talk, he mentioned having to talk to Profi in a way without probably just
you. I'm going to say, just for convenience sake, you and Profi have talked it over, and Profi, because he followed you, if you remember.
Yes.
Profi agreed to meet with these people, but it had to be quickly, quietly, and concisely. And he would not be doing most of the talking. He would just be kind of a figurehead and would let you lead, because you were the expert on dealing with nobility. Now, would you like any of the other people to show up as extra hands, people for persuasion, things like that?
I would be an excellent assistant.
I
have doubts.
Marzex is nobility, and Rhett is a very persuasive personality. If he's not, he at least sets the mood and the vibe. It is his hometown.
Make your decisions quickly. This is a flashback, not an entire section.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Just Profi and Barry, I guess.
Okay.
And
Perfect. Barry. Just two of us. Two dudes talking to some nobles.
right.
So, as you two are sitting there in the Great Hall, you are greeted by the soon-to-be Lord of Fen. And he sits in his father's would-be throne and munches away out a turkey leg. Very, very, like he's trying to show off for some reason, but it doesn't look good kind of way. Like he's in a fancy suit with grease all over him.
Right.
Lord Barrymore, you returned, and you bring the person of question that we talked about at last night's dinner.
Yes, indeed. If you don't notice him already as who he is, should I introduce you?
I look at you and go, yes.
This is Profi Tullius.
Immediately, you notice that several of the guards tense up and like ready weapons. The young man on the shelf looks annoyed. You actually brought him to me.
See, it's not as you think. There's plenty of changes in the future to be made, and I understand you're a man of change.
Okay, what are you requesting of our noble group?
Well, it would be in your interests to support our interests in the future. I think that you probably have some lofty ideas that might not go over well with the previous administration, if you understand what my meaning. I think the seat may belong to certain persons, gestures to Profi, in the future, and how's that old saying?
Bend the knee before I break it.
Oh no, it's an old Latin saying.
Says Profi. That's one of my favorite lines.
But I believe you understand what I mean here. You help us now. Maybe in the future, certain special someones will owe you a favor.
He kind of takes his turkey leg and eats it to the side and looks down at the two of you. Again, only a few feet away. Kind of sizes you up. Has a smile cross his face and goes, "What do you require now?"
Well, in the near future, we're going to need a supply line.
Mm-hmm.
Supplies. We'll need places for messages to be relayed. We'll need, of course, places to spend gold as the gold flows in from, achievements.
Okay, so you need an ally on this continent that is guaranteed, is what I am hearing.
Yes. And if you are ally and support, you will remain an ally and support and be favored in the future, possibly.
He looks over and smiles and says, "Well, this is supposedly going to be the future emperor. I have but one request. Bow down and kiss my feet." Profi
You're serious.
Profi Tullius, Lord Barrymore, you can stand and watch as witness.
Are you sure?
Profi looks over at you and says, Hold this," and he hands you his sword. It's so I don't stab him if I change my mind in the middle of this.
Yeah. Profi doesn't need this to. Never mind. Just holds it.
Don't tell him about the invisible blades. He doesn't need to know. So, Profi will walk over to him and say, "If I do this, you have to guarantee your support until you die, and if you have any successors, they better listen to what the fuck I say." He rudely kicks off his boots and his smelly toes. Cartoony effects as the smoke rises off of him, kind of thing. Pop out, and Profi does his performance check.
Cut his feet off, then kiss him.
I rolled a 19. I don't actually kiss his feet, but it's close enough that he believes it. So 19 plus pluses, actually.
I just imagine you like put your finger above his toe and kiss your finger.
Sure, something like that, right? It looks like I do it. He believes it. I know I didn't do it. So on and so forth. And I get up, and he goes, "Well, if the future emperor is willing to humble himself here, I guess we can be friends." And he takes his hand and goes over to his boots and pulls out a small quiver and hands it to Barrymore and says, "I guess when you need me, write with this, and a message will appear on a notebook that I keep here."
Of course.
Now, flashback to a little bit. Profi remembers this while talking and traveling and pulls out a quill from his pocket. He goes, "Well, I'm glad I grabbed this before he turned into Starlight." And that is where we start our actual session. You guys are back in your hotel room that you guys have been staying at, and it was the day to leave. You have an option to get out of this town. You have both the ability to get back on the boat and start sailing back on a boat, or you could take the teleportation token that you were so kindly given, Rhett, and spend it to go teleport.
I feel like this would probably be a good thing to hang on to.
Well, you can always buy more.
Oh, how much do they cost?
So I'm pretty sure it was 100 per trip, and you can carry up to so much stuff with it.
So here's my question: is it like a 10-minute ceremony of like you holding it, or is it like instant? We're going, boys.
So you have to go to a teleportation circle, and this is basically a token that signifies that they will use the magic on you.
Okay.
If you have the ability to use teleportation circles, you can also teleport into the circles you know about. So the bonus of using the token here is then you would have a connection directly to Ashmoon. The downside to using the teleportation systems, unless you know what they look like, you don't know how to get there. And for safety purposes, the teleportation circles don't keep records of what other things look like. So it is on the person who's being teleported to draw out the destination they wish to go to, kind of thing.
How long of a traveling case would this normally be? Overseas?
I think it's like a month. Here, let me pull up the map on.
I would say it would probably be in our best interest to just use it now.
Yeah, if it's a month, yeah, we should use it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish,
Because
8-ish.
a
So
lot
it's
of
7, 8 squares, right? Which is 2 days per square. So it's actually like half a month. Depending on weather and all that fun stuff. That's like a good trip that doesn't have any problems. You guys took a month to get here, so you must have encountered some rough weather and whatnot.
Wait, I'll leave it to the group. That's fine. We can use it if you guys want.
I would rather take the boat.
Okay.
So we got one.
One vote for the boat. Where's everyone else's head at?
One vote for the boat.
What?
Not a boat. No boat.
No boat?
Wait. Does we'll have to use the teleportation circle to take the whole wagon, right? We can't take the wagon on the boat.
You took the wagon here on the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm confused as to where we are at. I was gone for that.
You are still currently in Ashmoon, and you were going to head back to the capital. You guys were traveling here to find the sign thing. You didn't know what the thing was.
Do you mean Ashfall?
It's Ashmoon, I swear. I swear it's Ashmoon. I'll pull it up. I feel real dumb if it's not Ashmoon.
I thought it was Ashmore.
Definitely not Ashmore. It's Ashfall. Dang it!
Oh.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Where's the moon city? Ashmoon. Gosh dang it. Is on the Wildlands continent.
Yeah.
Ashfall. See, this is why maps are important. We're in Ashfall, not Ash Moon. I apologize. Man, that totally changes all the themes that I had for tonight's dungeon, but that's okay. That's fine. This is the original
He's like, I'm
towns.
running the compendium of the towns, and
It's okay. They're basically the same town, just in different continents. Anyway,
All right, I'll vote for the boat.
that's 2 votes for the boat. Lawrence, Freya.
Fran's not afraid of physical activity, so she'll go boat.
That's 3 for the boat.
Val doesn't really care. Val's too busy trying to figure out what she can do to make her hammer more hammery. So it doesn't matter to her. Time is but a concept wasted on this person.
So fair to say she would probably vote with Jenny.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so overwhelming majority is boat, but Profi does make the suggestion that we should still head to this place's teleportation circle, so we can draw it out or map it up or have memory of it for later if we ever need to come back here.
Yeah.
That's a good.
So
Good.
or we can take it and just use one now.
this may have been discussed while I was gone.
Okay.
In between the car and here. But as I understood it, we were in Finn and we had started going towards the mine when the dragon attacked.
No.
And I have no idea how we got to Ashmoon.
So we've been in Ashfall for an entire session. That's where we ended last session.
Because last session we fought the dragon, right?
Yes, and we introduced all the new characters. We yada the travel between Finn and Ashfall that I called Ashfall.
That's where I missed. That's what I missed, is the yada yada of the travel down the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just it was a time lapse that like we didn't need to roll that out since we needed to introduce your characters basically. And the most convenient place to introduce the characters was Ashfall.
Okay, got it.
So you guys are currently in Ashfall. You've had your little meeting, greeting. You've talked to each other. We've been hanging out for about a day and a half or so. We've decided to form a party officially. We're all best friends, unironically, because you're like an aunt to me. You're friends with each other. Val got almost murdered by Mars X, and Francesca is Barrymore's sister.
That was in the past. You know, let it go. She seems fine these days. Fine. We're both undead. It's okay.
Missing 2 different arms.
She wasn't my target.
So,
just collateral.
As you guys are walking down the road to where you assume to be the teleporting place, you see a small gnomish man dressed in what you would assume to be wizard's attire. It's relatively light. He's got obviously a spell book in his hand, and he is humming and excited and looks very, very active as he's running around. You guys interact with him at all?
Hi, Mr. Wizard, sir.
Mr. Wizard? What am I? Some kind of poke that is a mon?
Yes. You're a pocket monster.
Because
you're in...
How dare you, sir? I am a noble gnome. Or as noble as us gnomes can get.
Do you tend to the teleportation circle here?
No, but I know the owner quite well. Would you like me to make the introduction? I've come through on some great news today, and I'm in a great mood, so I'm very much happy to help anyone I can today.
I'll take the bait. What's your great news?
It's not bait, but I may have found the location of a temple I've been searching for the past 70-ish years. It's only a couple days travel, and maybe a few feet underground. And I'm pretty happy about it.
This wouldn't be a temple to Squawk, would it?
To who? I'm sorry.
To... Never mind. Where is this temple?
Well, I can't let you. I can't tell you. I don't really know you, random stranger on the street with youngish looking old people surrounding you.
What if?
We're all present, right?
You are all
Yes.
because we were all walking to a teleportation circle to gather the information and then head to the boat.
Tuggies, is that so?
Yeah, I'm gonna engage in the conversation, and we're gonna see if we can keep this conversation going for about a minute.
Oh, really?
Your in-game timer starts now.
What does the temple look like? Do you know what it looks like? Like, have you been?
No, I haven't. I still have to fill out paperwork to form an expedition to go there.
Oh, so you don't even have people to go with you yet.
Officially? No.
Do you have money to pay people to go with you?
He looks at you and like, I feel like that's something someone who wants to take my money would say. But you look like a person with a trustworthy face. So yes, of course. Look at me. I'm a wizard. I have to have money. You think these spells are cheap? You think this book is cheap? You know what this book is made out of?
I don't know what your book is made out of, friend.
I turn and look, and I try to do a nature check on his book to see what it's made out of.
Roll it.
You start leering at his book.
Just like I got an 18 plus whatever my skill is, which probably isn't very high. Yeah, just 18. 0 plus 0.
Nice. So with an 18, you actually recognize this, Younger, as it is very similar linen to what you wear normally, or at least the pages look like it. The outer is made out of something else that you don't know, but the linen wraps itself that the magic is written on for a spell definitely is almost the same material as your wraps.
So it's a mummy book.
Yeah, I immediately point that out. And say, "Oh, looks your book contents are formed of the same material that these wrappings are to cover my body."
See, we already have similarities, friend. So, what say you tell us where this temple is? And I am going to use my diplomacy charisma check. He rolls insight against it.
Sure, why not?
Do we want to go without him, or do we want to get him to pay us?
Why not both?
Yeah, either one, but it can't hurt us to have the information.
That's true. I was thinking I could play us up and try to get a higher price.
I thought that roll was bad, but then I remembered my plus. I rolled a 13, but I have a plus 13.
Wow. Way better than his total of 19. I thought he rolled good.
What is wrong with you? You're sick.
She talkies very well. Got that high charisma fighter. You have a plus 13.
I have expertise in persuasion.
Oh, all right. And do you have max charisma for old lady Jenny?
No, I have a 16 though.
Oh.
I have a plus 9.
What's our pluses? At level 13, are we?
We just got the most persuasive group ever.
Oh
That's
God,
why we
yeah,
got
all right.
the army.
Well, you guys ain't gonna fight nobody for the rest of these. You're never gonna level up because you're just gonna talk your way out of encounters. It's gonna be terrible. All right, so as you convince him that he wants to share this location with you because you're really interested in it, he goes through his notes and kind of pulls things out, and he pulls out a little piece of paper, and it's got some riddles and rhymes and stuff on it. He says, well, basically it's around this point here, and he pulls out a map and points to it with his finger. You have a general idea of where it's supposed to be at.
Well, Mr. Wizard, you are in luck, because we are a group of adventurers, and for a modest price of 1,000 gold, we will take you to your temple and ensure your safety.
1,000 gold, you say?
Each.
Does that include the wagon and rumpus over
They
there?
are with me. I pay them.
Okay, so 6,000 gold for a hearty group of adventurers.
Correct.
Okay.
Can I see how much the average cost of such an expedition would normally cost?
Sure.
Would that be a history check?
Sure.
Okay. A total of 20.
Okay, so you know that is way, way higher than most adventuring groups would charge to take someone to a temple and protect them.
Then I will not argue.
But if he does accept those prices, that means that it's dangerous.
I figured it's dangerous.
So he goes. What? There's 6 of you. Yes. So 6,000 gold. I have that on me.
I point to the large minotaur creature.
I don't think he's gonna buy it.
I'm going to pretend I don't see that undead monstrosity standing behind you, and go back to my price of 6 to 6. You are dealing with someone who is very well versed in the arcane arts. I know exactly what that is, and if it was to be reported to the wrong people, you could suffer some consequences, friend. But I don't want to do that.
You threatening my buddy?
Those consequences.
He looks over and he says, "No, I was informing them that if he gives me hassle, then I will be threatening them."
Okay, it sounded like a threat. You better not threaten my friends.
All right, hang on, Fran.
Anyway, he kind of blows Fran off. Anyway, in every group of adventurers, there's always one hothead. But let's see, 6,000. Do you want anything else or just gold?
And an agate.
No.
What kind of agate?
The one I can use for awakening. No. Anyone else have any other?
Yeah. We need to have some selection of loot out of a percentage of
I
game.
was about to mention loot.
Okay, a loot selection from a buried temple. Fair.
And I raise my staff, and I will likely claim the temple in the name of Squawk.
That might be an issue, as it is already a dedicated temple.
To who?
If I've learned anything from the Catholic Church, it's that you can undedicate a temple real fast.
Or
keep it up and we'll take Toyotathon. Dark Week, it's ours.
No, week-long Catholic holiday.
And get festivals.
I'm gonna vomit right now. Just
we celebrate Mass every Easter at the Colosseum now. That's what we do.
So it is a temple dedicated to the Lady of Silver, the Moon Maiden, the White Lady, she who guides, the Moon Mother, the goddess, Celine.
The god of
Looney. Sorry, how did I mispronounce that one?
I lean over to Profi and I go, I could have sworn that she was the patron of Ash Moon, not Ash Fall.
Profi goes, look, I don't know. I can't change this part of the story.
I think she got lost.
Yeah, that's a great. No, so the wizard overhears your comment. He goes, "You're right. So Ash Fall was a replica, or Ash Moon, I should say, because it was spelled second. Is a replica of Ash Fall. The temple there that is Saloon's temple that it was just outside the city. It fell to ruins hundreds of years ago as well. Was supposedly modeled after this one."
So
you look like a Star Wars character, just like super purple running around.
I'm trying to get my lights. They went blue.
I'm
I'm trying to get them back.
Go
Oh,
ahead and go
no.
to green, and we're gonna call you Greedo over there.
Greedo.
Yeah,
he's up to Dungeons and Dragons.
that's Yoda, but I appreciate the reference.
So 1,000 gold apiece, and then what do we want? A loot percentage, or do we want like an pick of the litter kind of thing?
Individual gets pick of litter, and then we worry about percentages.
I will allow you to claim. I will allow you to claim up to your price in gold a piece, and one item from the area you may claim individually. So 6 items if you find them appropriately. The rest has to be reported as per laws and regulations. And I would like to make some profit on this, though I'm more excited about the proposition of finding this and putting my name all over it, to be honest with you.
Why do you want to find this temple so bad?
Well, I've been looking and doing the history of this for 70 plus years. My late wife was a priestess of Salune.
I'm fine with that if everybody else is.
I'm good with it.
Sounds fine.
Yeah,
with me.
Sounds good.
Since it's on.
If we don't find.
If you don't find it, that's on
Or-
you. There might not be anything in there, and you might not have anything to claim. It could be a big old empty ruin in underground that is unclaimable. I have no clues. I have yet to be there. I just finally figured out where it is at after many decades worth of research and determination.
Do we ask this guy's name?
You have not yet.
What is your name?
Would you like my full name or my quick name?
Quick.
Full.
It's
Yes.
one or the other. I don't want to give both.
Let's go
Full.
with the full one, and then we can just pick a nickname out of that.
Yeah.
I am Bartholomew Praxi SB Keratin.
All right, Carrot. So
That's not
I'm
even
okay
close
with
to my nickname.
I
My
believe
nickname is-
Carrot works.
He's over here. That's not my nickname. I will not respond to carrot. I'm not some vegetable in the ground. It's keratin like bug armor. God.
so Carrot. Carrot.
It's a root. It's a root.
Isn't it chitin or chitin or oh goodness,
Chitin.
those
It is keratin. It is a specific bug armor.
Keratin is what your fingernails are made out of. Chitin is what bugs are made out of.
You are right, except for the bugs that have keratin on them.
We could call him Bart.
Bart? I
What
liked
was that
Carrot
middle
though.
name?
Look, I hope you
Call
guys
you
wrote that down. 'Cause I'm
Steve.
not saying that name again.
Bartholomew Fraxi SB
Fracky.
Keratin.
Let's just call
Um,
him Fracky.
My memory is not what it used to be. I may just call you whatever name comes to mind at the time.
I will be thoroughly annoyed by that, but
Out of character, I have a 20 intelligence.
just over here being a dickhole for no good reason. Just like every old lady, just doing what she wants.
All right, I'll shake his hand and say you got yourself an adventuring party, sir.
It goes good. Well, it'll take me a little bit to fill out paperwork. Can I get all of your names to the official document?
I guess I will go
You
first. if no
you
one- no
are an
one is
official
going to say
adventuring group,
anything.
yes?
Yes,
You-
we
you-
are.
You report to the guild.
Oh
You're
yeah.
licensed.
Royalist.
Yep.
You pay your taxes.
Every day, all the time.
He looks over at you and go ahead and roll a persuasion check, as that is the most convincing thing I've
I
ever
will-
heard of you. No. The bard is the one who spoke.
Can I assist?
No,
I
you
have
cannot.
no problem. You don't
Dang
need to
it.
assist the bard with persuasion. Yeah, give me a go ahead and 24 on that one.
Nice. Okay, so you're unconvincing. Yeah, we do it all the time. Just like it clicks with him for some reason, and he goes, "Okay, I still need an official venturing name and official names to go in the document. So if you could write that down." And he whips out a piece of paper out of seemingly nowhere and a small quill with an inkwell, and just fill out your names and such here. You see some blank spots on mostly filled out paperwork.
We are the Royalists.
The Royalist. That's an interesting title. How did you
We are
acquire that?
we're a bunch of nobles who have banded together to form an adventuring party, and we have just
Truly,
recently
nobles.
added. Oh, truly,
Really?
yes, indeed. I myself, as I roll out my scroll of pedigree that says I can ignore the part about necromancy in regards to any of the imperial laws, da 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 da.
Looks like that should have been your story feat. He looks over and you are the oldest elf I've ever met.
This is probably true, considering most of them die before they hit 750.
I'll have to ask your secrets later, friend. Be a valuable profit for someone that is 250 years older than any elf I've ever met.
What? Fucking Val just kind of leans over and is just like, "Wait, he's an elf? I haven't figured that out. This is news to me."
Well, so you guys will know for race-wise, there's not many races that live past 500. Elves can get to 600, you know what I mean? Kind of like humans can get above 90. But it's kind of a rare thing. You know what I mean? It's not something that occurs regularly. So for one to be standing here in an adventuring party that is 750 years old according to his degree of pedigree.
No, I'm 1,000 years old.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Likely
1,000 years old.
1,001. Which means I live 250 years longer than the longest living elf.
Yeah.
And I'm still moving.
And
Just
also you didn't, for the record. You've been around that long, but you've been dead for a very long time.
He doesn't know that. I'm wearing clothes.
This is true. Yep. He hasn't questioned any of your guys' weird
Elven
disguises at this
apparel,
point. But
I have elven boots.
He did recognize the giant necrotic bull demon behind you, so obviously there's some tomfoolery going on. So we have you, Sir Marzex. Marzex? What's your last name? I always forget. Dustbringer.
Dustbringer.
Can I get the rest of your names for this document? I'll write them down quickly.
Yeah, my name is Brett Smooth Creek.
Brett Smooth Creek.
Yep.
I've never heard of you before, but then again, I don't go to the guild very often these days.
I am Grandma Jenny.
First name Grandma, last name Jenny?
If you like.
No, I need your official name from the guild.
Jenny.
Last name?
From the block.
Out of character, she's not gonna give her last name, correct? Like Lux is a bad name to give, right?
Look, it's how you told me your character is as honest as apples, if I remember correctly. So deceive.
She's noble. Yeah, that's true. Okay, she's gonna name drop it. Jenny Lux.
You should have lied.
Okay, moving on. And you, looking down at the fighter, the feisty one.
She's Fran Silverrock.
Roll a persuasion check as that sounded very convincing.
What a lie!
Can I help him? Can I help him?
Sure. I will allow you to help him in this situation because
Okay, my persuasion's a +8.
Okay. Is his persuasion better than your persuasion? I assume.
Oh yeah.
So you get advantage on the roll.
Oh, good. I'm gonna roll the second one then. Best is a 16. No pluses.
Okay. Interesting name. Rhett, make sure you spell it right as you write it down on the document. And last but not least, sorry, not even last but not least, Val. He looks over at you and can't quite make you out. What are you?
Oh, I am a concoction of things. It's what happens when you do stuff with, you know, artificing and things like that. But my name is Valiska Droskfortuidisisi.
Good name. I like it.
Thank you.
That's your code name, Beckett. What's another type of French bread besides baguettes?
From Clan Croissant.
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 There we go. I like the croissant. Unofficial title, Le Croissant. All right, new joke for this game. Y'all gotta come up with whatever bread you are. I'm calling sourdough right now.
Oh, pumpkin.
White
you want
bread.
us to call you? You want us to call you pumpkin? Noted.
Yeah.
Code name pumpkin. Code name white. Just call you stale bread. Stale white bread.
Duck bread.
Ugh.
Don't give bread to ducks.
Oh,
Hashtag don't kill the ducks. All right, Lawrence and Younger, what's your bread? We're on the bread roll right now.
oat bread.
Oat. All right, your oat. Noted. Marzix.
Moldy.
Huh?
Moldy.
Mold. We have le croissant, sourdough, oat, pumpkin, white, and moldy. Moldy isn't a type, sir. Though, on a moldy bread note, that would make you rye.
Rye is also dark, so.
Both of those work for your character. You're now
And
rye
it's
bread.
disgusting. I hate rye bread. It's like my least favorite bread.
Rye bread is one of my favorites.
I'm
You
gonna
get a
dis-
really
I'm
good
gonna-
on marbled rye.
I'm gonna disconnect you
Good
now.
marble rye.
Be gone, thought. Anyway, jokes
Be
aside,
gone.
moving forward with the introductions. That's a note for in-character jokes. If you get called by your bread name, that's all in character. We've made this joke in character. So, moving forward, you guys give him your operating names, and he looks finally at yours truly, and Profi looks around for a second. And he looks to you guys, because I rolled a 6 and I have no idea how I'm feeling on this.
I say, do you want to be known as a man who discovered a temple of a favored town and gains their honor and loyalty? Or will you let it go to somebody else? Huh?
Wow. Marzix, that's a bold statement. I don't all right. You got me. That was an easy convincing. My name is Profi Tullius, son of the Emperor. Immediately, the man drops his quill and grabs his face. That's why you're the royalist. Oh! That makes way more sense than the bullshit you told me 30 seconds ago. Well, I'm glad
Both are true.
I'm glad I accepted the high pay off the bat. That also makes way more sense now. Well, I'm going to go file this with the guild. set the tax rate and all that fun stuff. Do you guys want to pay your taxes ahead of time or wait till all the loot is discovered? As you guys know, temple diving in the area is relatively simple. You just have to give away 10% of any gold or gems or jewels that you find to the state, along with the equivalency of 1 to 2 items that generally
This
be
is the
taken
most
out of the
memorable
loot pile first, and then from yourself if you don't have enough to cover it from the extras.
This is the most generous team I've
10% more to Profi. That seems fair.
Say what? Sorry.
That means we just give 10% more to Profi.
I go, no. That's not how taxes work. I don't take anything directly. I am not exempt. Is that some bullshit? Yes. I am not exempt.
I think we prepaid our taxes actually. We paid this before we came to talk to you, assuming we were going to find a temple job. So we're covered. We're good.
I don't think that's how this works.
He looks at you real hard and goes, "You've never done a guild mission before, have you?"
I invented guild missions.
I turn and I say, if one of us invented it, it wouldn't have been the one who's still so young and whippersnappy.
Okay, so I'm trying to get us out of paying, and you guys are making that very hard.
It'll be fine. It's whatever.
You're in an honest group now. The group entirely swapped out, and the morals have shifted.
Fine.
You're dealing with old men and women, and that's it.
No, I got Fran.
You're right. You got Fran and Profi. We're close to your age.
Fran is still old.
So-
You question my buddy's work?
He shakes your head and goes, "Okay, I need you to be real with me because this is an official document, and if I lie on it, I get screwed over." So has everything you've told me been 100% on the take?
I'll give him my real name because everybody else did anyway.
Yeah, same.
Thank you.
Show him any signet ring or whatever I have, and like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He shakes his head.
We are the royalists, but we're not a guild body.
He goes, "Okay, so you're not officially okay. Look, I can take care of that while I'm there. It'll take me an extra hour. I'll sign you all up. Yeah, I will be your patron just to make life easy this one time. I just need some cash to pay for that. Is that acceptable?" Assuming the Emperor's son, he looks at Profi, can pay the guild fees.
Yes, Profi can pay the guild fees. That is correct.
I look over at you like betrayed. Just over here like, you guys know how much getting into the guild costs? Is some bull.
I turn to Profi and I say, I will go and I will pay for the fees of the individuals using the party funds.
Profi had already pulled out 60 platinum. Like, oh, you sure?
I'm sure. I want to go see what these people look like anyways.
Shoves back in pocket slowly. Okay. I was trying to spend my money over your kill.
Grandma Jenny's gonna look at the 60 platinum that you just pulled out of your pocket, just like, what? Yo, Grandma Jenny has 15 gold.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
She's been living on Social Security for all these years. She's lonely and she's
Oh my god, you might as well have pocket candy.
Look, all your money was spent paying for the voyage over here, and now we got to pay for going back. So, he takes Grandma or Marzix to the guild hall. We'll get back to them in a minute. You guys enter what looks to be a spiral tower thing, right? And this tower thing, sorry, it's super descriptive there. This tower thing is relatively wide, and you can see it has a mostly open top. It looks like it has some kind of like opening and closing device to let light in and out. It is currently up and open. It doesn't have a conventional pointed roof. It has a like a flat roof is the easiest way to describe it. And again, it's open currently because it's nice weather outside. You guys go up to the door, and standing in front of two large doors, it looks like that you could fit some pretty serious things in and out. You all right over there?
Yeah, it was a bad sneeze.
Looked like a bad sneeze. So, two very well-armed guards are sitting by the front of the doors, and they look to the group of people coming towards them and kind of hold their hands up. And stay back. Do you have an appointment today?
Where are we? What are we doing?
You are gathering the information on the teleportation circle.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, but I believe we had a friend who is a friend of the person who owns it.
That's gonna go real far there, Sweet Cheeks.
I'll smack him.
Are you sure about that?
No one talks to Val that way.
Roll an attack.
What? So I guess it's just unhanded or.
I assume you slap him with your open hand, not a weapon.
Correct. Yeah.
You feed him the pimp hand, which is really funny because that means you had to like zoop up really close and be like, "Whoppa!"
So there's no pluses on that.
Okay.
Is there? I don't know. I've never done unhanded attack.
So I generally allow people to make unarmed attacks at proficiency just because it's your own body and you should know how to fight with your own body. You just don't get all the fun pluses that like monks get.
Okay.
You steal damage plus your strength.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
So plus strength, so 19.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's your proficiency, so it's just like a regular attack. So it's strength plus prof.
Dude, you're acting like I've ever attacked anyone.
Sorry. Yeah. So unarmed strikes are your strength or dexterity, because it depends on the type of attack you're doing, to hit, and then that also equates to the damage you do.
Okay, so then I'll say strength, and it'll be 19.
Okay. 19 total. Yeah, you slap him in his armored face. How much damage do you do?
What would the damage be?
It's strength plus 1.
So 3.
You do 3 points of damage to this man. A serious slap. So you came up and just like he's wearing a metal helmet, full face, yada yada. You lifted that thing up and just whoop-ow! He is discombobulated for about 0.2 seconds. Unfortunately, as you do so, you realize he has you gripped with both hands.
I'm gonna act as unfazed as possible and say 2 things. 1, show some respect. 2, don't you know who you're talking to? Let us in.
Make an intimidation check as he's holding you. At disadvantage, because he is holding you.
Oh, no. Oh,
Y'all don't have the robot anymore. This is where the robot would be like, look, put the man down.
Oh, no, my dice. Come back. Oof. Intimidation, so plus 4, so 18?
18. What? Good roll. All right. He's gonna make a wisdom save, but
okay, I can do that. Not well, but I can do it.
Well, you don't have to do anything. Your 18's good. I just need to check stats really quick.
So much platinum, stupid.
So much what?
Platinum, stupid.
Yeah.
And gold,
I'm trying to find ways for you guys to spend your money, guys. Take it. You're over here being cheapskates. All right.
Right, listen, if you were to give me a bag of holding that had a random amount and assortment of things, I would spend all of my money on it. The idea of something random coming out to help in the middle of battle, I love it. Sounds great.
That does sound great, actually. Just bag of holding on a items table. You get table D for weapons. Good luck. All right. So you succeed. Yeah, you think his +0 because I rolled a 16. So as you are in this man's face, he kind of like takes one hand off and like rubs his jaw and sets you down and goes, "Noted."
Goddamn right.
He spits off to the side. The other guard over there, not losing his shit, opens the doors. Just you can see his armor shivering slightly as he is holding the giggles in as hard as he can, because he just watched this big brute of a man get slapped in the face, pick you up, and then you basically just yelled at him to set you down. How tall is Rhett? Just for reference sake.
He is 5'10".
Okay, so this dude is 6'7", big boy, and just picked you off your feet. So you're 6+ inches off the ground, just being held up like you're a toddler. And then he set you down and let you go inside. The other man, who is equally as tall, again, losing it under the armor. So they open the doors up, and on the inside you see the teleportation circle. It takes up about, you would say, 50% of this building's entire area. The rest is rooms that are kind of formed around it with all kinds of stuff and things and supply bits and arcane components and just doodles and doddles and things. You have no idea what it all is. And you are approached by a dwarven. You would recognize this dwarf off the bat by what he's wearing as a magic smith.
I got us in. I did my job.
He comes forward and
Hello.
looks at the rowdy tag group of you and says, "Ah, I could have sworn there was going to be a fight."
No. Although we do cause those from time to time. We are here to see the teleportation circle.
You're the royalist, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, Etsu already sent me a message about half hour ago. Said you were coming.
Wonderful. Also, out of character, we're not a ragtag group anymore. Like, we very much pomp and circumstance walking through town.
This is true, except for Trophy, who hasn't showered in several months, and Marzex, who is carrying around a giant bull demon, and Rhett, Rhett.
Prestidigitation. There you go. He's gotten the small, quick cleaning.
I smell like lavender, and I hate it.
I change or
I mean, would you prefer like fresh bread or would you like
fresh bread? Would you like to be sourdough? Would you like to smell? No, I don't want to smell like sourdough. You ever smelled sourdough when it's not on a sandwich? All right, but delicious. So he welcomes you guys in and says, he didn't tell me what you were here for, but he told me you'd be coming by. Oh, what you need? How can I help? Are you guys teleporting somewhere with him later today? Are you picking something up? Are you buying tokens for the future? How can I help you? You've attracted the owner, so now the owner's taking care of you. What do you want? How can I help? He seems a little annoyed while he's saying these words. Like, obviously he doesn't deal with customers often.
How much are the coins?
Have you ever used the teleportation circle before?
Yes.
No.
Then you should know how much they cost. It's standard everywhere.
Oh, it's like that.
Yes, 500 gold per person, for sure.
That is not true. They are 100 gold a coin.
Make an insight check.
Uh, 27.
Okay, yeah, he's lying. He's lying real hard.
I would like 2 coins for a total of 100 gold.
He goes, well, you're about, let's see here. You said you're about 900 gold short for the way you're acting. But I guess since you're a friend of a friend, I can say you
short
2 coins for, he stopped mid-sentence. Is Senile McGee okay over here?
Oh, she is fine. She is
I-
just enjoying some funny ha-has. It's
At my
jokes.
expense. I'm not an idiot here.
It sounds
And
like
you are trying to have funny ha-has at our expense, it seems.
Yes.
900 gold.
Well, if you would let me finish talking without being rude. So you guys will know that the teleportation things are 1,000 gold apiece, but they're not 500 a person. But the catch is you can have up to so many people in a group / so much stuff in a group. Basically, with the teleportation spell, you can pick up to 10 people. You can teleport up to 10 people for one teleportation shenaz.
That might be a problem with Grandma's menagerie.
Yeah.
Well, then you'll have to pay extra.
Not into it. I'm good, unless anyone else wants to buy some.
Oh,
Profi goes, well, for one, I'm gonna need to take a look at the teleportation circle so we can find this place in the future, and we might as well stock up, right? Here, and I pull out 3,000 gold and buy 3 tokens worth of stuff. Grandma, you may now start crying if you need to.
Let me roll a d12.
So
Okay, 12. Grandma sees that amount of money and is just like, yeah, I'm with the high rollers now. We got
Question,
money.
Roger: is that 3,000 gold of actual gold or platinum pieces?
It's platinum pieces for me because that's what I have.
It says copper.
No, so yeah, I just minus the 3 off my character sheet. I'm gonna add the tokens to my character sheet. Yeah, noted. So 3,000 gold is 300 platinum, right?
Yep.
Good. That's good. So, whew. Sorry. We've paid for the things. We've acquired the knowledge of Ash Fall's teleportation circle. So now in a pinch, you can always teleport back here, as long as you have the spell component / travel token if you're leaving. So that is the catch. Traveling to a teleportation circle costs nothing. Traveling from a teleportation circle is what is expensive. So if you learn the teleportation spells, they will save you money eventually. Note for you.
What if we put a teleportation circle on a carpet, rolled the carpet up, and then carried it with us?
So that would be too small. I mean, unless you had a very, very big carpet. I just told you this is a good-sized building, and the circle itself takes up about half of it.
I mean, we're talking a big carpet, like a not an area rug. We're talking like a carpet, firm carpet.
Sure, you could totally do that and make a mobile teleportation circle.
Throw it on the back.
You wouldn't be able to use it unless it's unrolled somewhere. So why wouldn't you just make it a permanent?
You could also find a wizard, bro. Just find a wizard.
Anyway, it's a possibility. It would be a quite an investment because if you guys remember to make a teleportation circle, they have to cast the teleportation circle spell once a day, every day for a year. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a long.
So we steal one. Just kidding.
We just take the
Just go on the
entire
ground and
floor
dig
up.
it up safely. Yeah. Look, I'm not putting it past y'all. You're very capable individuals, but no, don't do that.
We just put the floorboards on the top of the cart, and we're just
Stop. Okay. Anyway, you have your teleportation stuff. Jumping down to Marzex, if he's still around, you enter the guild hall. Obviously, Etsu over here is tootling you around, and he goes to what you assume to be the guild master's office. And he goes, I guess we have to wait for the guild master. Just kidding! And he turns around and sits in the seat.
Ah, I see. You are the guild master. Interesting.
Yes.
Plot twist.
He goes, So you guys want to officially sign up and get licensed and all that fun stuff?
I mean, I suppose we might as well do it legally.
Good. I'll get you signed up. I have your names. You've already filled out the handy dandy paperwork that was in my scroll here. We'll call this adventure that you're taking your assessment adventure. I will cut some corners because of all the royalty in your group. But the catch is specifically for you, Marzex, because the reason for this find really is this important to me, and I will be accompanying you. But how have you lived for so long? Like I said, my wife lived as old as an elf can be and only made it to about 500. Right? No, sorry, elves can live to 750. Yeah, lived to about 750. I met her very late in her life. But we did everything we could to extend her life and had no luck. Yet here you sit, 250 years older than you should be.
I turn and look to him and stare deeply into his eyes, into his very soul, and I say, "Do you want to know a truthful answer, or one that you wish you didn't ask for?"
I never have feared the truth. Friend, lay it on me, he says confidently. Though you do feel that there is something behind his words.
You broke up. I can't hear you.
I said you do feel that there is something behind his words. Oh, and he's gone.
Oh,
You broke up. No, your signal sucks. Okay, well, back to you guys while he's dead. Hopefully he comes back. Otherwise, we're never gonna get this guild stuff signed. So yes.
Fun fact about Val: she is an elf that was, vampired. So
You weren't born a vampire, but merely adopted it.
yeah.
You were but a girl by the time you saw the light.
I'm that disconnected.
Anyone else hear what he said?
I
Something about disconnecting.
Yeah. Younger.
I hear.
Slap your internet in the face. Go out there and kick the cows off the satellite dish or whatever's going on. Have the squirrels move to the left. I don't know. You're broken up real bad.
How is his internet worse than ours?
You need to
Can you hear me now?
satellite
Yes,
sheet.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just kill your video.
I just said that I disconnected at the worst possible.
You really did. It was real funny. So intense moment between you and the guildmaster.
Yeah, I asked him whether or not he wanted me to tell him the truth or.
And he replied, "I have never been afraid of the truth, my friend. And you feel that there is something behind those words that you should be weary of."
Can I do an insight check so as to further see what he might be insinuating behind those words?
Sure.
Too bad my insight is correct.
1 second. I think
18-3.
18's a good roll.
no, I don't have anything that I can.
We're not with him anyway.
I was gonna say you were very far away, friend. So with an 18, you know that this room is very well rigged. Like you can just feel the intensity. Like you got close and all up in his eyes, and all the defensive spells have activated. You can just feel the magic pulsing. So you will behave yourself, hopefully.
No, I wasn't going to attack him.
That's not what it says.
So, do I feel like if I answer this question or don't answer, that I'll be blasted into oblivion?
Maybe. It's a strong possibility if you misbehave in this room.
No, I was just asking him a question. I wasn't threatening him.
And he answered. Look, the way you described it sounded like a threat. So.
Okay. Didn't mean to come off that way. But I go on to I basically go on to answer to an extent is saying if you wish for an extended life beyond your normal abilities, one such path would be, what do you consider to be life? Is it your consciousness that you consider to be your life, or is it your mortal vessel of which you possess? I need to know what your definition of living is.
I think life requires all of the fruits that could be offered. The ability to have children, the ability to eat, drink, sleep, to go through the debauchery that is life, feel the goods and the bads. That is what life requires.
I would say, then that of which you seek is not within my ability to grant you.
Well,
for I lack many of those things that you would deem enjoyable and an intricate aspect of what you would consider to be life.
So let me take a guess here. You have some kind of undead contract? You're a zombie? A skeleton under the mask there? Something along those lines?
Something along those lines. However, I am in service to that of the kingdom. Huh?
The kingdom? You mean the empire?
Yes, the empire. As a historical relic and artifact in oneself. However, I'm also able to independently execute my duties without direct supervision, and then sometimes put over the supervision of others.
Interesting. He shakes his head and fills some things out. And then tells you, we will leave at dawn. Make sure your party is prepared. They should have the appropriate traveling equipment, horses, and the like. Wink, wink, smiley face. You guys have a
Indeed
about it. So,
yes.
We're going to fast travel just a little bit, unless you guys have anything important to do in Ashfall currently.
Should we buy some potions?
Yeah, the small shopping list.
Okay, small shopping list. We're not doing a whole shopping session, but what's on your list?
Alchemist supplies, alchemist supplies and herbal kit thing.
Okay.
Herbalism kit.
Okay.
Herbs. Okay. Various herbs, whatever she can get a hold of. Okay. And some of the herbs that you broke.
Yeah, you broke up there. One more time. Just straight up potions?
Everyone's doing that.
Some of those light hammers you can throw, and also potions.
Okay, so potions are 25 gold apiece for the basic style potions.
Is that the kind you get 3 drinks out of?
Yes. The
okay.
potions, not spells.
I'm gonna buy 2.
Okay. Take the gold out, 50 gold. So for the alchemist supplies is 50. For the herbalist kit, it is 25. And if you want extra supplies of either of those, anytime you restock, it's 25 for either of them. So you can buy basically the restock gets you 10 uses on either one of them. So for another 25 gold, you can get extras basically if that's what you want. Light hammers are how good a quality of light hammers do you want? Like they range from a gold to 5 gold.
Just gonna be tossing them at people's heads. So
cheap hammers are good, gold a piece.
All right.
I wouldn't use them for more than constructions, and basically once you throw these, they're donezo.
Oh, okay. All right. And the you said the herbs are just like stocking up the herbs is like
25 gold, basically the equivalent price of the herbalist kit every time.
okay. All right. So
Would there be anyone in town selling a longevity potion?
That is a good question.
You can look. You have been requested. I will roll a percentile since you guys are buying potions already. You'd be at one of the places that would sell it if they have it. I'll give it a 3% chance of being here. 36. So no, not even close.
All right.
Also, just as a side note, I don't think anyone in the group could pay for a longevity potion.
How much are they?
You said we were paying.
Fair.
how much is a recipe?
Recipes are more expensive than the actual potions themselves. But it's like 10k. They're like an astral diamond a piece for potion.
I could afford plenty.
Astral diamonds you got over there, big spender.
Well, I'm over 300 platinum.
Yes, but you would need 1,000 platinum.
Wait, you would need. Okay, what's the exchange rate? Oh, it's by 10. Never mind. They're that expensive?
Well, I mean, they're a legendary potion that reduces up to 50 years of your life.
All right.
Reduces up to 12 years of your life.
12 years of life. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Thread.
Maybe we can acquire the recipe somewhere.
Good luck.
I figure an old gnomish guildmaster might know. I don't know.
Well, as you guys have noted, you don't want to stay in Ashfall too long, so the whole introduction to the guildmaster here is just going to get you guys officially signed up for when you hit the real continent and start dealing with guilds over there.
I'm good. I got some potions.
Okay.
All right, I'll do the math later, but I grab.
Can your character afford any of that? You gotta take a look.
It was. I had 2,250 gold.
Okay.
And I just used like 510 of it on this. But yeah, shouldn't be able to. Okay, right on.
All right, so you guys get to meet Guildmaster Etsu at the edge of town, and he is on a noble-looking white horse. It looks to be made of marble almost. He sits on top of it.
I'm right on the shoulders of my Minotaur.
Did you say you're mounting your Minotaur?
Yeah, I'm riding on the shoulders, holding the two giant horns.
Well, good thing it can't get pregnant.
Hmm.
So, as you hop on your Minotaur, the rest of us load up into Grandma Jenny's cart because we can all fit in there, especially because the Minotaur and you are running alongside. Is anyone else riding alongside, or are we all happily in the cart?
I'll be in the cart. Is this the Minotaur I banged?
Yes.
You bang a Minotaur.
She was the. Remember when we were with the lady bandits and I banged like 97% of them or something? So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, 100%. This dude's riding one of your previous flings.
Marja takes red sloppy seconds.
It just got worse. It just got so much worse.
Just being alive is a flex on your ex there.
Oh no! All right. Anyway, yeah, oops. That's emotional scarring for the character. I don't know. Side note: it doesn't look like her anymore. It's just a skeleton. But yeah. Okay. As you guys are traveling to the thing, I need to take a couple minutes break to grab some drinks and deal with the kiddos really quick. So we're gonna BRB. 5-minute break. Go get you your stuff. I'm gonna play
Perfect.
music on repeat. So if it gets annoying, suffer. Oh wait, I gifted.
Just mute yourself till you get back.
No, we're gonna play this. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Want me to grab my guitar?
It's going. It's going. Shut up.
So if you right click on their name, you're able to drag down the volume.
There we go. Thank God.
For real. Terrible. I'm mounting your old girl.
Those little fucking voice statues or whatever.
Yeah.
I had the fairy card.
Forget
I remember
this.
looking at it before.
It's text through the tool.
Yeah. Well, that was Thruds, I think. So that might be part of it. I want to catch another one. I'm gonna next time we're traveling for a good distance. I'm gonna try to catch something new.
So I think it's
Oh man, that would be awesome.
All right. Definitely should have muted you guys because your guys' conversations were mingling with the music.
I muted you because I
It's
didn't
okay, we
want to.
muted you.
Okay, good.
We've come down to the conclusion the next party animal shall be a rock.
Yeah, we're gonna try to catch a rock.
It's really hard. They're on the ground everywhere. You know, you got to pick the right one.
Of course.
I could awaken
bird.
one.
Got him.
Awaken the rock.
Awaken.
Awaken.
Dwayne!
Oh man, yeah,
It's like, it's not
That's
a
pretty.
boulder, it's a rock.
it's a rock.
The boulder is confused. The boulder is no longer conflicted.
I really
You
do
have
want
to look
make
at it.
I really do want to make a fighter or a monk that has blind sight for like their fighting thing. So they are actually just blind. I think it'd be really fun.
So Daredevil.
So blind fighting is actually now one of the fighting styles for fighters.
Yep,
And I have it.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
But
but
you're
its
not
range
running-
isn't that great.
10 feet.
Oof.
All right, back.
Hello.
All right, we're all good to go.
For
Yep.
Except for Younger
future,
over there.
um,
Green bar.
for future considerations, next time we're doing a good amount of travel,
Mhm.
Rhett's gonna try to find a new mount to tame.
Oh, by the way, how many days of travel did we do in the cart?
I have yet to roll it.
Okay.
But it's only
Every-
going to be like 2 days of travel. Why?
Oh. Every day of travel, I'm making someone a new scarf.
Okay.
Aw.
Make 2.
Yeah.
Also, I've changed my cloak of many colors to match the blue and gold of my new scarf.
Very, very Ravenclaw of you. I like it.
Everyone is getting matching blue and gold scarves.
Okay, well, you make 2 of them. Who are they for?
These ones are going to be for. We're gonna go with Marzex and Profi. Marzex and Profi get their scarves.
We're just getting. He's marking us for later.
This is for my skin. Sorry.
Nope, there he goes.
Well,
You made him cry. He had to leave.
These are just regular scarves, right? You don't imbue them with anything?
Yeah, no, I have the only magical one.
I could probably put something on there. I am an artificer.
Ooh.
It's a good idea. So, as a side note, before I shove too much more food in my face, I do want to point down to the thing at the bottom of the screen for those of you watching this later. It's a link to our a friend of ours from RP Craft Publishing, who is doing the book of Conflict, Brutal Races, and it's a goblinoid heavy book, so it goes over goblins, hobgoblins, orcs, half orcs, so on and so forth. It has a whole bunch of really cool mechanics to them. I got to see a preview. I like it.
Does it include purple orcs?
Sorry. God, no. It does not. Just nothing
Purple orcs
inclusive.
are not allowed on stream.
We don't talk about purple orcs on stream ever. It's an inside joke that no one else needs to know about. So, with that, the things right there, we have links in the Discord, and if you guys need a link, I'm happy to send it to people. The important part is that one has our reference number because they are affiliating with us, so you help us get cool stuff, and you help them by supporting them on their Kickstarter. It'll launch pretty soon. It's still in the pre-launch stage, so it'll be a little bit before they launch, but they plan for it to go pretty quick. Yeah, so if you guys could give them support, thumbs up from us. That's my little plug. I'll probably do it again at the end. But let's get on to the story. We're going to have to mark this in YouTube later.
I
as
briefly
advertisement.
turn to Grandma Jenny and I say, I do not feel the warm or the cold. I fear that I do not need this. And it's also quite colorful.
Well, everybody needs a scarf.
Okay, Wednesday.
As I fold the scarf nicely around your neck.
Aww.
Fran's gonna reach into her menagerie of herbs and find some like funerary herbs, the smell good ones, and hand them over to Marzex. Like, hey, you need these, bud.
We're just decorating Marzex.
I turn
I'm the
and I
warlock
say,
of night and
I
destruction.
can't
He's got a scarf and some
I can't
weed.
smell any of it, but it's really not. I guess that makes sense. I still think
Man, what kind of herbs did you
one of
buy
my
in
women
town, Fran?
gets-
Gentlemen, we gotta be careful. We are talking over Marzex really hard.
Oh, he's talking?
Yes. He was
Yeah, so
describing the fact that he cannot smell
put
these herbs.
some of those herbs, and I just put them in like a pocket of my lens. Whereas the scarf, it's the closest thing you can see to me having a look of like almost like disgust. It's just like, thanks, I guess. And I'm not even in the cart. How did you give it to me?
Oh,
It's 2 days worth of travel. We stop at one point.
Oh.
to rest.
Okay.
Oh,
By the way, this is important for travel. Our nighttime campsite, because we have the cart and the tents and lanterns and everything now. So with the cart and the traveling party and everything, we have 5 10-man tents. We have a series of connected hooded lanterns that run off of oil. We've got plenty of oil and things. And with the weapon of warning, as long as we're all sleeping within 30 feet of each other, then we can't be surprised at night.
We're also not going to really have any issues because every time we do set up camp, I am using Mordenkainen's private sanctum, which can be 5 feet or as large as 100 feet on each side. So it's just a big ass square essentially. And so just if we're all within that, sound can't pass through the barrier. It's worded. The barrier is worded. Appears dark and foggy, prevents visual. Things can't see into it. Divination spells can appear inside the protected area. Creatures within the area cannot be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport in or out of the warded area, and planar travel is also blocked within the warded area.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, just out of curiosity, what level spell are you burning every night to do that?
That is a 4th level spell.
Okay, so just make a note of that. Obviously, once you sleep and wake up, it recharges. But
Yeah.
So, quick question: I would not be able to use my teleportation via shadows in that range, correct?
No.
No, you couldn't.
Nothing can teleport into or out of the area. So you'd be able to teleport from one spot inside to another spot inside, but you wouldn't be able to go from inside to outside.
Okay. Cool. Gotcha. I just wanted to know the clarification beforehand.
Yeah.
So I literally rolled what you guys needed to not have encounters. So 2 days later, you are there at what looks to be a small forested area. Again, it's pretty common for this area, so this spot just seems kind of out of the blue. The only thing that you notice is the ground here is slightly raised.
Quick thing. Because we rested twice and I would have had a chance, could I do Tales of the Traveler and hand out inspiration for those 2 days?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so everyone should get one.
Nice.
Also,
Noted.
during that time, Val would want to talk to Rhett real quickly and be like, I appreciate what you did, slapping the shit out of that guard. I thought it was very funny. But by all means, do not get yourself beaten up because some asshole decides to say something to me. I have lived a very long life, and people say things all the time.
That's fair. Do you want arms?
I knew that was coming.
I mean, these arms kind of work very well. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one of my arms back, because that would be nice.
Okay, I'm gonna pat Val on the arm that she indicated to, and cast Regenerate.
Regeneration. All right. Do you have the material components for that?
What are the material components for that? Let me find my. So it is a prayer wheel and holy water.
Okay.
Could I just have Granny bless some water?
You don't have to have me bless some water because I have some holy water as I hand you a vial.
There you go. We'll team
Granny's stocked the nines.
Just reach in the pantry, go through some vials, and pull out holy water and hand it to you.
I am double disgusted. Get away from the holy.
Did anyone make out what he just said?
No.
I am disgusted.
It's disgusted by the
Get
holy water,
away.
baby. That's my guess.
Oh.
By the holy
Yeah,
mass.
we are down to one vial of holy water now, though.
Well, if you're an acolyte of Squawk, could you just bless water?
I do not have bless.
No.
Is it a wizard cantrip? If it's a wizard cantrip, I can have bless.
Bless
No, that's a cleric or paladin.
does not do that. Ceremony doesn't.
Oh yeah,
ceremony.
makes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, a paladin or a cleric has that.
Yeah, nope, not me.
Well, Val gets one arm back.
Now I have an
I was
extra arm.
asking if you were unfolded.
Now, I do have an idea or thought. Why not do both and then have 4 arms?
You could. So literally regenerate says target severed body members, fingers, legs, tails, so on, if any, are restored after 2 minutes. So you could do them all.
Yeah, she just wants one
So-
arm. She likes having the other one robotic because that's where she keeps.
You're gonna have 2 robotic and 2 regular. You're gonna have 4 arms.
Yes, but she doesn't have the ability to like stick it to her side and make it work.
Oh, so you can't control it. It would just be a dangly arm.
Yeah. So right now she's got an extra arm that's
DM
like
has something.
DM question: Why? Why can you not stick it to yourself?
because she doesn't have the apparatus to be able to fully swap around and move pieces of the armor around right now. It'd be something that if she were to go into like a tinker shop or something like that, she'd probably be able to do. But with the tools that she has on hands, I'm assuming it would take a lot more work to try to set that.
What tools do you need?
I mean, she's able to change her. She's like her tool set literally can change on a long rest. It's more the issue of not having the materials to be able to properly make it like that. And she's got the spell of fabricate, so yes, she could do that, but she's not gonna.
Okay, I just as a DM, this would be an interesting point to give you a second set of arms because that would be dope. But if you don't want to do
Right?
that, I totally understand. Though,
For the time being.
as a DM suggestion, keep that in the back of your mind.
Oh,
So he only regrows one as per your request. 1 arm for you. Congratulations. You have normal amounts of arms because you just take your prosthetic off and set it down somewhere, I assume.
Thanks,
Just kinda
Granny.
sticks it in the back. in the
I'm calling you
backpack.
Sekiro.
Hey, Granny, hang on to the holy water for
Sekiro croissant.
back.
Sekiro Kasan! Ah! Yes.
But I had a question.
I have a dumb answer. What's up?
So they're still alive, right? The Dampiers
Yeah, so
Like they-
technically, yes.
count as
they are
living.
It says humanoid in the description. I'm pretty sure.
So they're not full-on vampires. They just have vampiric qualities. They're vampire lights.
God.
like they live for a long time. They are able to just walk up surfaces like it's no problem. And they also, when
You
they
don't
do a bite attack,
need
they can.
Debris.
I think.
Interesting. Okay,
Anyway,
that was my only question.
okay.
I was just curious if you could be killed.
Yeah, so she doesn't have the undead qualifier, so she heals per normally. I think on a note though, she does require regular food. She can drown, all that fun stuff. She is still a living creature. She can
Doesn't have to breathe.
Does it say that? Because I'm pretty sure she does.
Yeah. Dampiers don't have to breathe.
Oh, okay. Whatevs. Been a while since I looked at the stat block. So we're gonna move forward. Forested area, kind of moundy.
Stink.
And the guildmaster has brought some shovels. It says, well, I think from my understanding of how this temple layout should be, we need to dig here. And he slams a shovel in the ground, and immediately you hear cling! He looks pretty impressed with himself. And yeah, there.
I start unloading climber's gear and ropes.
He looks at you.
Let's make Granny's workers start digging.
You do so.
I have a better idea.
Actually,
Brady's workers.
My armorers do not start digging. My armorers are not servants like that.
Fran likes physical activity, so she's just gonna grab a shovel and start going for it.
As Fran walks over, a
was
shovel
going to
falls out of the sky. It is a short-handed shovel that looks very familiar to the rest of you.
All right. do I do a check to grab it, or
It hits you in the head. You're gonna see it.
oh,
Whoa.
ping?
You're not knocked
Yeah.
out or anything like that. It just comes out of knocks you prone, and you stagger up, and there's a shovel kind of loftily floating in front of you.
What the heck? What did look? Fran looks around, like looks up, looks around. Who threw this shovel at me?
Your brother threw that shovel.
I was
Yeah.
God, Profi just rolled a 2. He's over here. Your bitch ass brother, apparently.
He's always got something to say, even from the grave, huh? Well, I guess I'll take a look at this thing.
So this
She,
item is an item that will be attuned. So for the start of this digging, it's just a regular shovel. But you do feel the magic essence flow in and out of it.
one problem. Fran's already attuned to 3 things.
Well, then you can't attune to this item.
Dang it. Okay. Probably worth it to attune to it.
You could always give it to a friend, or
I
you could argue
hand-
not attune to it.
And I hand a shovel to my minotaur and instruct it to start digging where the guild master was.
The regular shovel, not the one that just fell out of the sky, right?
A regular
Okay, just making sure.
shovel.
It's important for you. You don't need to touch that shovel, whatever you do. Okay, so I'm going to roll a d4 to see how long it takes to excavate the entrance. 3 hours. So it takes you guys...
I then
Just
also...
let me narrate. Just let me narrate.
Okay.
Thank you. So 3 hours go by, and the entrance is revealed. It's not super big, but it looks very much like a temple entrance. You can see that there is a slight dip into it, and you'll notice that the area around the entrance is very wet and soggy.
Okay, is this entrance like a doorway entrance, or are we going in through the roof? I assumed that since we were digging down, like we were digging down to the roof, and we were gonna have to like belay in.
No, this looks like a front door.
Oh, then I'm gonna put the climbing gear away.
Solid choice. I mean, you never know. There could be a large gap to cross or multiple levels. Though, in the 2-day journey that you guys are informed about, Etsu is going to give you guys some key points of information. One, that this moon temple is specifically tied to the ocean because it's attached to Ashfall. So it is very water-centric, and the flow and ebb of the moon is kind of how it applies here. What else is important? It's a single level temple that he knows of. It should only have 1 floor. It's a good sized temple from all the specs that he's pulled together, though all the writings are relatively inconsistent, so he can't give you like a solid "here's your map" kind of thing. But you will know there is a plethora of rooms, at least a dozen rooms that you guys will find in this place of varying size. Excuse me.
Okay.
And that's his guesstimation. Again, the drawings he has aren't really consistent, but he thinks there's 12 rooms at least.
Who has the ring of water walking from Kettle?
I believe it is currently
Me.
okay.
Okay. That may come in handy here.
Says,
but I was going to say I summoned the last of my 4 skeletons that I had in bags. So as to use them as potential trap turner honors.
Okay. Solid choice. I like it.
Yeah, the Minotaur too.
So your first obstacle.
No, the Minotaur is important.
Your first obstacle is getting through the front door.
I have a ram.
1500.
Okay. That is an option for sure. There are heavy wooden doors that have just been sealed shut by time, so like they basically naturally fuse together from the overgrowth and whatnot. There wasn't really a lock that you could see, but it's definitely fused together one solid piece of wood.
Anybody want to help us ram?
Aye. Yeah.
What was that, Marzex?
Yeah, right.
The Minotaur. We have a whole Minotaur. She is the definition of a ram.
Yeah, she is.
Wink, wink, smiley face.
Hands the ram to the Minotaur.
Bless you.
Hey.
Nice.
I also have 15 strength, so I guess I'm actually kind of strong.
Yeah, sure.
You have higher strength than the fighter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a valor part.
Fran also has a 15.
Okay.
So arm wrestle.
Can Fran use the help with the Minotaur?
Well, is this like the kind of ram that has like handles? We can just get a bunch of people on it.
I think you can only have 2 people on it. It's a portable ram.
Well, who has the highest strength? And that person in the Minotaur would probably be a good idea.
I think Profi.
Oh, what's Profi's strength?
Like 60. No, my strength is trash here, friend. My dexterity is 60. My strength is only a 12.
Oh. Well, then I guess Fran.
Yep.
Maybe we don't have thread.
Either Fran or Rhett.
Okay, so as that, attempt to use the charging action, so move 10 feet towards the target and then attack it. Same turn to deal extra damage. Use the charge feature if I can.
He wants to use the charging attack with the ram to see if he can get extra damage.
So I would say no, because there's not quite enough like running room for what you guys have dug out.
It's just 10 feet.
I understand.
Yeah, no, I think he's saying that like we've dug down like a couple feet in front of the door, just enough to climb in the hole and smash the door in.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll just do it normally.
But you guys want me to use shatter? I could always just break the door open using shatter.
But that wastes shatter.
You can.
I mean, I do have the. I also do have the ability to simply just store the spells, which I do have this one stored. This one and then healing spells stored all in little tokens.
Sorry, don't mind me.
But you still don't want to waste those. We have a ram for a reason. We have the proper tools for the job. Let's use them.
Sure.
I also have hammers and pins to put the door back up when we're done.
While everyone's discussing it, Fran's just going to run up and drop kick it like a donkey.
Roll to hit.
Oh.
This is where we have him.
Nat 20.
Fucking lit. So, as you go up and mule kick it with all the force of a furious monk, you kick through the rotten wood. Just straight up, ha! And there's a U-sized hole, like some kind of Looney Tune figure, through the doorway. As I described before, it's old, it's solid, but you just went right through it with no problem. It's pretty apparent after seeing your friend kick through it that the wood itself probably would hold together, but the ram is overkill. You literally can just kind of like A, just go through the hole that was just made, or B, take it apart with your hands at this point because there's now a hole in it.
Nice.
Minotaur takes the board.
Ingrid, I'm gonna need you to just not. I don't know what to say.
Take it apart.
The Minotaur can easily take it apart.
Pull it open.
Yeah, real.
That.
He makes a big old hole that is big enough to fit you all one by one. But while you guys are doing that outside, on the inside, Fran, you're in a very dark room. Do you have dark vision?
Yes, but also as an ASMR, I could probably pick up a shard of wood and cast light on it.
You could do either choice. The description will be slightly different depending on what you do.
Like, crap, what was that? What's our family do again? Looks around on the floor for anything, picks it up, casts light on it.
As the room illuminates 20 feet of it, which I believe covers this room pretty well. Yeah, the whole room is lit up with the light of your wannabe torch. And it looks like it is a trophy room, or what's left of a trophy room. It looks like there were various priests and events and things that were happening 100, 200 years ago that are kind of aligned throughout the room. There's obviously Selune statues kind of here and there. Some of them are broken, some of them are fine. You can tell from a small dedicated mural on the one of the side walls that basically has a creation story for Selune and whatnot. You see some furniture that is also still there, like tables and things. But they don't. They look decrepit, kind of like the door. If you gave them a strong enough whack, they would just fall apart. It looks like the last thing to happen here was some kind of celebration. But you do get a weird tick as you look at these celebratory banners.
Just a quick note, is it day or night?
It is day currently, but will be night in a few hours.
Okay, so when it becomes night, I'm going to use my sword as my light source.
Nice, okay.
Because it is the moon blade.
Ooh, fancy.
I am going to bring a hooded lantern.
Okay.
I just thought with the theme that you might want to know it was the moon blade.
Noted.
Nice. She's not good at this, but history check on the banners.
Sure.
14.
14. So, so the banners indicate that there was some kind of festival of time that was being done at the temple itself. As Selune would say, this was basically an event to try and freeze the moon so its beauty could reign eternal.
Okay, Ronnie.
So, what you find on the table, though, roll me a 1d6.
One.
So, on the table is a, what's the best way to describe this? A beautiful silver scarf. It smells faintly of flowers and perfume. And even in this old, decrepit room, it still is producing those smells. And it still looks as if it is made of mithril.
Well, Fran will pick it up.
It's soft to the touch, as if you were grabbing a rabbit.
Ooh. This is interesting. History? Would a history be appropriate?
If you would like, though, as you are investigating this, a couple of your allies go through the giant hole that the Minotaur has just made. Who would like to enter the room next? All right, Vampire Lady.
And Vampire Lady's best friends.
All right, the old yahoos are in the building. Party hardy. So the new crew, we're gonna call the three of you the new crew currently, has entered the building first. The old crew over here just like, why are we working? This is some bull. But the three of you enter and see the same things as I described. The room is lit up because your friend is holding a piece of wood using the light spell. Your hooded lantern also works and is more of a spotlight. Like you can see the physical light it produces in the room still, but it's definitely way more of a direct beam.
That would be a bullseye lantern. A hooded lantern casts light in a 30-foot radius.
Never mind. Sorry. Oh, but it can be dimmed, right? So like.
Yeah, I can dim it and raise it.
Okay. Do you let the light out, or are you dimming it currently?
I'm actually going to turn it off while he has his light that we can see by.
You turn it off to save oil and put it back on your hip.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire. There's light everywhere, so you don't really have to use dark vision, but you care.
No, I was just looking around at everything. It's like, oh, this is interesting. Very pretty banisters.
Okay,
And
as you guys look
everything.
around the room, I need you both to roll a d6.
Okay.
Did anyone grab that shovel, by the way?
That's
the
a
magic
1.
Yeah, got the
All
shovel.
Gotcha.
I got the other side. I got a 6.
So as you look around the room, you find a small brass key wrapped up in what remains to be of a very similar looking scarf, though the scarf that the key is wrapped into is like looks like something stabbed through it a whole bunch of times.
Somebody needs a new scarf.
I was waiting for it.
Speaking of scarves, you, sir, find another scarf hanging on the wall. Again, made of the same material. It's very pretty, very soft. Smells of perfume.
It's bam.
I very much like this one.
You now have a silverine mithril looking scarf.
You can have the key.
The key,
I hand out to Valley.
Val
Yep,
already had the key.
Yeah.
Val was the one who found the
Val
key.
already had. Okay, that was the one who found the key. I found the
can-
scarf.
You found the scarf.
Can I do identify, like ritual cast it?
You want to spend 10 minutes? What do you identify?
When I identify the key, and then when I identify one of those two scarves.
Okay, so that'll take you 20 minutes to do so. Do you guys want to spend the time in here? It's not like you're in a rush. This is not one of those things where you guys have to burn through the encounter. So you are going to take 20 minutes worth
We're
of
taking
ritual
our time
casting.
here anyways.
Yeah, that is a note. The longer it goes on, the less light you guys will have because it's getting dark. I'm gonna say you guys got to the site at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It took you 3 hours to do the stuff and the things, so it's about 6ish o'clock now, and the sun will set by 8.
Okay, we've got plenty of things to create light. I mean,
yes, so that won't be a big issue. I just let you guys know.
yeah. I have a passive perception
Light.
of 28, by the way, if there are things that we are to be perceiving.
You better hope your light works, boy.
So that means you have an 18 to perception.
13 plus 5 plus.
because you have the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's a 15 passive.
Still great. Yours is wonderful. Grandma over here just like Sherlock Holming 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Constantly like analyzing everything, every detail in every room. That's gonna be annoying. Seriously, like you won't ever have to roll because your passive perception is better than most people can critical on. You're gonna have a blind
Like it
so you're
literally
only
has to
10
be
feet around.
imperceivable.
Yeah, no, for real. A 30 is a nearly impossible check, and you have a 28 passive.
So what's up with this scarf and what's up with that key?
So the key has no magical bits and pieces. It's a legitimate old style key for opening something. The
Gotcha.
scarf looks to have some kind of permanency magic on it to keep it like fresh, you know what I mean? So it can't be destroyed via time and age, and the smell is magical. It's basically an illusion magic cast on a very nice scarf.
safe to assume while she's doing that, the rest of us will enter, right?
Yes, we are all in the rooms now. Speaking of, while they are doing the identifying, you guys have some extra time to search the room. You guys can all roll a d6 to see if you find other things as well.
I'll go last.
Okay. Woo! What's that? 6? You too find a small key. Slightly different than the one that Val picked up, but a key nonetheless.
Nice.
I picked up a small signet ring. So I pick it up.
Is the wizard coming in with us?
He said, I mean, since you guys have cleared this room and are sitting here for 20 minutes, he is in there with all the other yahoos that won't be doing any of the exploring. So they're not out in the open kind of thing. They're basically guarding the door until you guys clear room by room by room. And he's intrigued by everything in this room. So while you're identifying and doing stuff, he's looking at everything he possibly can. And as I pick up this signet ring, he runs over to me and specifically like takes it out of my hand and says, "Ha! Wonderful, wonderful, yes." He looks at it very intently, and I don't have a ring now.
Damn.
I got a 5.
A 5!
Do you want to win?
So as you are looking around, Barzex, in a small bowl near the front of the area, looks to be what's left of a donations box, and you find 17 gold.
I know better than to steal donations from deities inside of their own temple. I drop myself a single gold piece into the bowl.
You do so. You feel terrified as you receive a radiant blessing, which is, more like a curse for you.
So what does this blessing entail? Like, what does it seem like?
So you don't know what it means, but you feel as if you are glowing slightly in the darkness.
I turn, look at my hands, and I'm just like, this is the most... At least we know that God is still doing things, I guess.
Go ahead and roll me a d4.
While he's doing that, he's got the flowers, the blue scarf,
3.
and now he's glowing.
For the next 3 hours, he will glow.
He's the brightest necromancer ever.
Good luck hiding in the shadows.
This is forced conversion therapy from educated to Barbie girl.
So, with the identification, then do we wish to go into the next room? Anybody see any chests or anything that this key could open?
Not in this room.
I'm good to move on.
So as you guys move to the next room, I have to read it. All right. So this looks to be a workshop for preparing and crafting things. Mostly looks like jewelry and religious items, actually. It's really beat up. The ceiling is partially collapsed. There's rubble all over the place. And to get to the next room, there is a cave-in the way that you guys will have to do something about.
Is it the right, left, forward? Where is this door?
So, you guys you walked north to go to the next room. The cave-in is now on your west. There are some other items in here that might be worth searching. If you guys take enough time to search the room. But if you want to explore and clear things out, there's nothing dangerous that you can see currently.
I'd like to search the room. I like loot.
Where would you like to
let's
search?
keep
What
looking.
skills would you like to do?
I would like to use... What skill could I use?
Perception.
As we say,
Goddess.
perception or...
Perception goddess.
Investigate.
Give me a second to see what this
Could I
is.
invest?
Okay, so both who has above a 15 passive perception? Because I know Val said she had a 15.
Mine is also 15.
Okay,
Uh,
that's important as you were searching. I have a 10. So,
Uh,
I don't see nothing.
Fran has a 13.
Okay. Younger, you have like
Clay?
a 12 or something, right?
I have a 15 as well.
Could I investigate?
So if I look at my sheet, I think I only have a 23, not a 28.
That
Because I don't
makes
know where that extra 5's. Yeah.
way more sense.
Yeah, I have a 23. I had the wrong thing written on my sheet. It looked like an 8.
Okay, so both of you. Okay, so all of you that have over a 15 DC notice that there is a trap above one of the tables that if you were to jiggle or jaggle something, a spiked boulder would come down from the ceiling and crush you.
Well, let's leave that table alone.
I would like to have that
Everybody
spiked boulder.
stay away from that table. We can get you that spike boulder after we get everything else here, eh?
How big is said spiked boulder?
So it would hit a singular character, so it's
5 feet?
size. Yeah,
It's more like a rock.
yeah. Whoa.
I would like to search anything else that is not trapped.
So as you are looking around, you do see what looks to be an altar. But yeah, it's an altar. That's the only other important thing in here. Also, there's some other things. Give me a second. Sorry.
Is there anything on the altar?
It's kind of buried under some of the rubble.
I would do a religion check, but my religion is trash.
I could assist you with that or do it myself, and you could help me.
So specifically, since you are searching for stuff and things, and there are stuff and things in here, I need you to roll me a d8. And anyone else who is technically searching, you can do so.
I would like to.
Profi is going to go over with his handy dandy shovel, and I assume Fran is going to come with me, and we're going to start working on this cave in.
Yeah.
I have another idea. You could let the 5 skeleton creatures start doing that.
They could also assist us if you want to go command them. It will take us some time to get this open.
Is there
Yeah.
any boulders that are like particularly large?
What do you mean by particularly large? I mean, there are some that are people sized, but nothing that is like 200 plus pounds of silly. Okay, so number 6, you find a mermaid scale. It looks like it was part of a necklace that was being made. The necklace part has long since run away, but the scale itself is still well intact. And this is an important scale on a mermaid that connects the two fins together.
Oh, okay. Is that Val also had a 6? Do we both find one of those?
Yes! You guys gotta stop rolling the same numbers. So you also find one of these. Though I'm gonna say for you, it is a green scale, and yours is a blue scale, Rhett.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, it's just color choice. You guys will know that this can be used in certain spells and or they sell well for monies.
Yeah, and I got an 8.
An 8! I have really sad news for you. Nada.
You found dysentery.
Oh!
Not again.
Not again. It's okay. She got the depends in the cart, yo. It's good. All right. So, as you look over that altar, Rhett, because you noticed it specifically, do you uncover it at all? Do you mess with it? Do you leave it be?
I will try to. Oh, go ahead.
What is your passive insight?
Insight is 8.
So 18.
Wait, what? My skill in insight is 8.
Oh, okay. So you have a negative 2.
What's your plus?
All right, my plus is 8.
Okay.
Okay,
So you have an 18.
you're
That is important.
Okay.
As you look at this altar and like feel it out, like you can kind of make out the statue of Celine, but like you get the bad wonky vibes off of it.
Bad vibes.
The worst kind of vibes, the corrupt magic vibes.
Ooh. My original impulse was to like clean the altar, like get it uncovered.
Uh-huh.
But now I think I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Your intuition serves you very well. I'm just gonna say that. Though, as a side note, yeah, okay, never mind. No side notes. Do you guys disable the other trap by chance, or just let it be and not touch the table?
I am going to attempt to disable the trap.
All right, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh yeah, my worst check.
Thank God, you're bad at something.
But I rolled an 18.
Okay, that's good enough. So basically, you take some bits and pieces from another table and shove them in the way of the boulder, so it locks it into place. So even if you were to move things off the table, it wouldn't activate.
Oh, I was just gonna try and cut the boulder down. So we can take it.
So you can't really cut it down. That's not how it's set up. You could activate it on purpose and try to dodge out of the way.
Absolutely.
How about you let the rogue do that?
Rogue's over there digging in the dirt. Roll a dexterity saving throw. Don't goof up. This is a lot of damage if you goof it. Just say
it's okay. I have Indomitable. So that's a 16.
Sure. Anything else you can add to that?
You're inspired.
If I fail, I can just re-roll it. I also have inspiration, so I can add a D10.
Either one of those options.
Add 5. 21.
Okay. So 21, you pass. So you activate the thing and it comes down and smashes the table that's underneath it. Just completely annihilates it.
I carry it out to the cart while everyone is digging. +1 spiky ball.
Spiky ball indeed. Yeah, so just as a side note, thing was a 10d10.
Oh, nice.
Wow. While she's doing that, can I re-inspire her with a little ditty?
Yeah, of course. Bonus action ditty.
Following me playing a lute.
I will note though, your inspiration only lasts 10 minutes for this new one because it's not the campfire version.
Oh, then we'll hold off.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hold off.
Okay, so you guys don't mess with the altar and triggered the trap. The ball is now on the ground. Imagine those angry Mario faces that are just like the stone blocks that have sparky bits cut it. That's basically what this is that just dropped down. Basically, it's meant to catch thieves' hands and crush them into nothingness if they grab something off the table.
Yep, I am going to move that to cart.
Okay, you now have one large bouldery thingy.
Yeah,
he literally has a staff of catapult, though you'd have to up the level really high to throw this because it's way more than 5 pounds. This is a 9th level catapult cast. But whatever you hit with the 9th level catapult cast, it dead.
Does it take 10d10 spike ball damage?
Plus the catapult? Yeah.
That's like
a god killer.
Yeah, but again, you need to cast it at like 9th level or something stupid to get it off. And the fighter over here cannot cast 9th level spells. Marzex eventually.
Not catapult.
What if we had like 9 people all casting catapult at the same time on it? Like ants, ants together strong.
So I will add multi-person casting to the polls next week. That's a whole new mechanic, but that's totally something that we can add and do. We have
I actually added that as a feature in regards to the necromancy spells.
Yeah, we have a system set up for it, so like that's totally a thing that we can implement.
We don't have enough casters.
Right. Yeah, but the enemies do. The three of you
Don't
all just
only
looked at the
hurt
screen.
us.
All right. So next room, or eventually we go through the things. It takes us a little bit, but whatever. With the 6 people working on it, it's relatively quick work. 5-10 minutes. Basically enough time for you guys to goof around and find stuff. You go on to the next room.
Is it beyond the ruins that we just moved all the rubble from?
Yes.
Okay. So that's to the left. Check.
Is it nighttime yet?
No, that wasn't that long.
Okay.
So this room is full of mold. As you look around, as you guys are, do you guys just pile into the room, or do you like sneakily? How do you enter this room?
Red is last.
With one skeleton in the front.
I cannot sneak.
This sounds functional. This sounds good.
So your boy,
enough,
who can't sneak, will be the first one in really quick.
Does Profi want to be invisible?
Friends like
You can if you really want.
You want to be in front of the skeleton?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Fran sees Profi sneak in and crouches down behind him and starts sneaking too.
Are you going to tell the fighter that you're invisible?
You see the ret cast the invisibility spell, so I assume you would know.
Okay, because I can see invisible creatures.
Ah, yes. As you do so, you see me, and it kind of just like fizzles. I look like a glitch in the Matrix.
Does Granny see all invisible creatures?
Yeah, within range.
Rook, does that include all invisible creatures?
Includes all invisible creatures.
So Granny can see my pet.
You 100% can see Miss Cuddles.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, Granny, you see my pet. She's a squid.
you have a squid? I've just been looking at a squid this whole time.
It's a squid.
wink, wink.
We're gonna have an offline conversation about that later, but no one else seems to be addressing the squid, so we'll not address the squid yet.
Also, funnily enough, my character could also be sneaky because the full plate she has is mithril.
Oh, you snazzy, huh?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
oftentimes my feet make no noise.
So, in the center of this room, again covered in mold and fungus, are 2 giant knight statues standing on either end of what looks to be what used to be a drinking well. As I look around, and all is well until one of the statues moves slightly.
Uh-oh.
It looks and turns its head back and forth, and then goes back to its stationary position.
Okay, is it time for me to enter the room yet?
Not quite, as I'm still describing it really quick. Like I said, it's full of mold, but the other thing that's mixed on the ground here, basically everywhere, is ashes. Clothing, burnt, crispy things. The only thing left over are these dark knight statues. And as you guys hear in the next room, there is awkward isn't the right word, but there is a hearable grumbling roar-esque growl. Give me a second and I have the noise for it. And that seems to echo through the stones at your feet.
Sounds like shit's about to get real.
Oh, grandma ready.
Well, okay, so Profi and Fran are sneaking in first, and Profi's invisible.
Correct.
While they're doing that, I'm going to be analyzing one of the knights.
Time out. Fran, what was your stealth roll? Because that'll actually be really important right now.
All right, I'll give it a roll. 23 total.
23. Well, okay, yeah, you're good. Okay. You're quote unquote good. Why is this an easy encounter?
I would like to learn their hit points and armor class.
Which thing?
Yeah.
The knight thingies?
Yeah.
So the knights seem to have a relatively low AC of 13, and a whopping hit points of 58.
What?
Yar? There are two of them.
Mm-hmm. There are two of them.
For now.
For now. You may hear these in the future, which since this looks to be a room full of combat, I have to actually get the map out.
Battle map! Battle map!
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna click it on my face, turn my face off. Turn on.
I think we should kill him. I think it's the right move.
Why? They might be holy relics of the temple.
I guess it could be. Maybe we should try to talk to him first.
Rhett, you got the heebie-jeebies earlier, remember?
Yes.
That hasn't gone away.
Okay, guys, they're bad. They're bad news.
But I didn't get EBGBs. I got legitimate good vibes. That shit's whack.
Okay, so this isn't a huge room, so we actually might need one of my smaller maps.
That's a hex grid.
Yes, I know. We're not using that.
Okay.
Like I said, I gotta find the right map for it. I don't even want to pull out the full book at this point. That's how small this map is. Again, this is a dungeon, so we actually will have restrictive space, which is a new feeling, to say the least, for the majority of us. So, you guys have 30 feet to work with. So, we open up our handy-dandy map here. We'll probably actually use this quite a bit, but 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Perfect. Okay, so this square here, from the table over to here, is the room that you guys are working in. So I'm going to this basically cover off the other bits of the you guys can't see, so that isn't confusing for you. Blockers. They're not super annoying or anything. I do not know how these creatures are going to actually fit in here, because there is a giant water well in the center of this room. And then there's you, Yahoo. So, person that snuck in. 1, 2. We are going to use this little token here to represent the well. I'm going to turn it to the gray side, because it's not actually an enemy yet.
The 4 skeletons will remain in the regular room.
Again, this is only a 30-foot room. There is not a ton of space here.
That's what I'm saying. Normal skeletons will remain with the regular plebeians.
Okay. You guys know, I'm not a fan of this encounter. Alright, so the rest of you are currently outside in the other room on this direction. So you have to enter here and enter this little gravelly pit, which is considered rough terrain for the purposes of rough terrain. How is that for you guys map-wise? Are you guys able to see it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me. Where'd it go? There it is. On top of my character sheet. Hit away. All right. And then for the people watching on the Twitch, I got to put my beautiful face on the screen. Sorry for your suffering. Bam,
20
I'm here.
charisma.
Hey, I got my hair looking good today. Not even complaining about it like I have been the rest of the week. All right, so there you guys are. Again, 30-foot room. There are other stuff that you can go into and mess with. It looks like this room opens up into a smaller room that goes up here in the blue section. So if you need to filter in that way, you can. From the description of the two people sneaking in, because we can't actually. Do either of us have dark vision? I don't, because I'm a human.
I believe ASMRs do have dark vision.
Look, all I got is the ring of Deboni that does not give me dark vision.
The ring of baloney.
Ring of Bologna.
60-foot dark vision.
Okay, so you can see into this other room. It looks to be, just as a quick description, a library. There's also a room up to the purple area that's kind of behind this other guard-looking guy. And it looks to be maybe a kitchen or something? You don't know. You can't really tell. There's more collapsed stuff. There's nothing like immediately in the way, but you definitely see a whole bunch of rubble.
Library attached to a kitchen.
No. So the library is this way. Kitchen is that way.
Oh, gotcha.
And then you guys came from the crafting room again, and this is a water well. Allegedly. Bless you.
Alleged.
Allegedly.
Okay. So are we rolling initiatives now?
If you would like to attack, yes. No one has seen you yet, but
Well, then I am going to use. If we aren't doing initiatives yet, I'm going to use tactical assessment.
okay. What is tactical assessment? I'll let you use your fun cool powers.
I am going to use a investigation roll.
Okay.
And expend one superiority die to add that die to my tactical assessment of the situation based on the roar.
Okay. Roll it.
Could I help them?
I'm also yeah, I'll let you assist. Which is your investigation higher or lower than his?
Mine is a +11.
Oh, mine's a +5.
So, with the +11, you get advantage there, friend.
Okay.
I'm smart.
You are smart.
My passive investigation's 21.
Wow. We should just.
I needed it.
Between you and him, I can't hide nothing. I'm listening. Sorry.
Initial roll was a critical fail. The re-roll was a 19.
That was way better. Good job. Good job, friend.
And so with a 19, we have a 28 to the tactical assessment.
So specifically to the roar that you've heard a roar like this before, though it's been a long time. But that sounded like a plesiosaurus.
We got dinosaurs?
It's a dinosaur.
Because if we have dinosaurs, that means I'll learn dinosaurs and I can turn people into dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So DM, do you want to unleash that on yourself in the future?
Hell yeah. I mean, they're not a ridiculously powerful creature, so. But also, yeah, it's cool.
They can also be awakened.
They can be awakened. They are dumb enough.
I can talk to them.
Yeah.
You
can.
I am going to hold off now and let some other people do their things.
Okay. But you would know that just as a side note, I'm going to give you a little bit of information. That the plesiosauruses can go on land, but prefer the water. So they're one of those creatures that can breach and pop out and kind of wiggle around. They are large creatures. They're not of any special alignment.
They're Loch Ness monsters.
Yeah, basically. That's the easiest way to think about them.
So it's a Leopleurodon.
No, that's a whole different creature.
It's a Leopleurodon, Charlie. The magical Leopleurodon.
Leopleurodon.
No one who's watching this video right now is gonna get that joke, and like
No.
just us old people in their 30s and older get that joke. Everyone younger than 25 is.
It's a good day's the internet.
Anyway.
Anyone else can take the lead on this room. I want the next one.
Okay. So your tactical assessment doesn't grant you any major bonuses besides you know what the roar is.
Okay.
Do with that information what you will.
Do you all wish for me to take front? I have my warhammer and shield. I can just walk in.
Please do. I gesture. Oh wait, I'm not on camera anymore. There we go. I gesture. Please do.
Of course, why not? Fuck it. I just walk right in.
You walk right in, and as you do so, roll your initiative. You go over the rough rubble, and like the knights immediately hear you because you're not hiding; you're just walking. Both of them turn their heads and draw weapons.
I'm picturing your warhammer as a baguette with a croissant on top.
It's just metal.
I have a 19 to initiate. Actually, I can take down Battlemaster Stutch because I am a Battlemaster.
I got a 15 to my initiative. Whoever's doing the initiative tracker.
Okay. And I have Granny has 19. Who else? Who else we got?
12.
Red is 12.
Enemies go on 13 plus pluses. I mean, they actually have pretty good pluses. Yep. Total is 16. Your boy Profi goes on 18 plus pluses, which is a lot.
Why is Red always last?
21.
Because you're a bard.
But I should go
monk. Yeah, the monk has a 13.
My
initiative is actually a +6, and I still always go last.
That's rough. I'm so sorry.
Kind of like how you can have.
What is Mars X's?
5.
Okay.
You're not last. Look at you.
I'm not last.
No complaining then. All right, and then unknown enemy, which you know who they is. Wow, critical fail. They're going last.
Unknown enemy.
Dino goes on 1.
Dino.
All right. Well, take your turns. Who's first?
First is Profi.
Well, that's highly appropriate, as I am invisible. What kind of invisibility is this, by the way?
Greater.
Oh, boys, I have a minute of FU. Let's go.
Yeah, it's worked well last time.
Okay, so I'm just, as you pop out, you literally pop up next to one of these things, and it activates. So I'm just gonna stand next to you and be like, I have advantage. All my friends are here. It's gonna get got. Oh, it's gonna get got. 16.
Gonna
3.
got,
So
got,
I'll take the 16.
got.
Thank you. 16 plus pluses, well over hits. I have 76 I roll when I stab somebody now.
So you're about to kill this guy.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I pray that I kill this man. All right, and then we have my D8 from my stabby. Any other pluses? I get to reroll on stuff from the piercer. And then I get extra die if I critical, but I didn't critical.
You're inspired if you need it.
And I can use your inspiration for damage too, right?
Anything.
Yeah, Valor Bar. All right, let's see. Wow, that's a lot of sixes, yo. I'll take that. All right, so I'm gonna re-roll 2 dice. I rolled a 2 and a 1 that I'm gonna try and do better than. I'll take that. That's good rolls. All right, so 26, 30, 34 plus 4, 38 points of stabby damage from my initial stab. Yep. Okay. And then I will follow that up with my free Invisi Dagger. Still have advantage. Thank you, invisibility. 19 plus pluses definitely hits. Really need something that lowers my critical threshold. It's just a regular d6 plus pluses. 4 plus 4 is 8 whole points of damage. So what's that? 40.
What was it, 36?
Yeah, 46
38?
currently. And then I'll use my bonus action to activate the secondary invisible dagger. Still have advantage. Hoping for a critical. Nope, 18 is my high number. Plus pluses, way over 20. That's a whopping D4 with no pluses. I'll take 4 extra damage, though. You know, whatever. Damage is damage, yeah. So what's that? 50 points even. How about you? Stabby. That's literally all I can do.
Would you say that he is bloodied?
Yes.
We know his health is at, like, I think at 52. I know his health.
58 HP.
58 HP, yeah.
With an AC of 13.
So it is my turn next. And I'm going to walk to the doorway.
You are there?
Okay, then I stay at the doorway, and I'm going to shoot the one that you did not attack. I am going to pull out my handgun, and I am going to shoot it in the face.
I'm clarifying, you are pulling out a handgun in a decrepit, falling castle.
I can pull out my hand crossbow.
That would probably be quieter and won't deafen all of us instantaneously.
Okay. I'm going to use the hand crossbow.
DM is going to tell you inside a dungeon is not a good place for a firearm unless you're in a wide open area, and this is not that.
Okay. Then I'm going to fire the hand crossbow.
Okay.
Actually, why not just use, because I don't have to reload my longbow. I'm going to use the longbow, and it does more damage.
And you can fire it more often.
Yeah. That is going to be a 7 plus 5.
Hits. Roll damage.
And then second attack is an 11 plus 5.
Ooh, hey.
I am going to forgo my third attack, use bonus action, Commander Strike Profi.
Yeah.
Profi, you have plus 10 to damage and a d10 that you can use on anything else. You have another d10 inspiration.
Can I get an attack?
Yep.
At advantage?
Yes.
Damn. All right. So 12 plus all the pluses. So you said a plus 10 plus my regular 9. 31 to hit. That's the inverse of his AC, for the record.
Also, it's a different turn, so you could sneak attack too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if I was attacking the other guy, I would totally do that. But there's no need. This dude,
damage is damage.
Yeah. Like, all right, D8. Where are you?
The answer is always damage is damage.
I do 8 points of damage just from the rate, like just the blade itself. Stabby. No crazy pluses. Not activating sneak attack, which will finish him off.
Okay. And the other one takes 15 points of damage.
It's hurt, but still alive. And his friend, as I stab him, you guys see a what's the best way to describe this? a dark moonlit corruption kind of crumple his body into a pile of steel.
More
So-
materials for the artificer.
He implodes.
More or less is what it looks like.
This is a surprise tool that will help us later.
Okay,
A pile of fucking metal on the ground.
Mousecatools! Mousecatools!
next
boy.
up is going to be the enemy.
Okay, well, he can't see me. He can't see the monk. The only person he can actually see is the vampire.
Yeah.
So he has.
Wait, you can't see me?
You're at the door. You haven't entered the
Oh,
room
yeah.
yet. You just shot him through like the crack in the thing, so like he has to go over and get to you. So he's gonna come here and make his attacks. He won't activate any sneak attacks for me for some dumb reason, but I'm there for moral support. All right. He's got a lamp. Oh, he doesn't even have to be right next to you. You can stand right there. He thinks he's being clever. Unfortunately, since I'm in front of him, he's rolling at disadvantage, even though he's attacking at reach because it's a lance.
Does that mean he'll just hit you instead?
No. Don't use a lance when there are people next to you. Them's the rule. Even if they're invisible. Alright, he rolled pretty good. Oh no, sorry, disadvantage, so. 8 pluses. I need to find this plus really quick.
My AC's 21.
Okay,
Oh, shit.
probably not gonna hit them. He's not riding a mount. 2 shorthand attacks. Oh, he's not using a short sword though. He's using his lance. Excuse me. Total of 13 to hit.
Nope.
Nada. Not even close. You're welcome.
Yep. Just shield. Pew.
Ping. Yep, that's his turn.
Oh.
I just want to point something out. These guys do have. I'm going to ruin this for you. It was really funny that you made me invisible with greater invisibility. They have the uncanny dodge ability, and it specifically says an attacker the knight can see. So all my attacks that I would have done could have been halved, except for I'm invisible and they can't see me. So Rhett, you are Deus Ex Machina, and I really do appreciate you.
That's what I'm here.
I
Next.
do think it's. I think it's my turn, right?
Yeah. Oh well, I think so. Master of the list. The enemy did his
We had a
one
combat.
action.
The enemy did its action, then it is Val's turn.
Val.
All right. So you see Val with her warhammer, and then you see her wrist kind of just like plop down, holding the warhammer, and then a light starts to build up as lightning just gets yeeted out of her wrist. Using her lightning launcher, 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Cool.
And this is the first time you've hit him, so make sure you add that extra d6.
Awesome. Cool. So that's going to be 13 plus 5, 18 points of damage. Pow, and then I do
Question.
get 2 attack.
How is it just for points wise, how is it 18?
So I roll 2d6 plus 5.
Okay, so you get to add your dex bonus to it. Nice. Is that something you get later
I
on?
get to add my intelligence bonus. To
Oh,
it,
intelligence.
because-
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
There you go. Then get my second attack. I get 2. As another one kind of loads up, and that's a nat 1. So
Inspired.
oh
Inspired,
yeah.
Inspired won't help him run away from this critical fail, though.
No,
That's
but
fine.
it will
I
keep
could still
her from,
possibly hit it.
or does disastrous story effect?
I mean, no, you can still hit him with a critical fail, yeah, because you have the inspiration die, but it won't stop the 1.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's a D10, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's another plus 6, so 11 plus 6. That's a hit.
Okay, roll your damage.
And then damage will be 11 points of damage.
11 points. A solid swack, even with the thing. Though you will notice the knight kind of dodged that first one. It's kind of like, but he takes the full on the second one. Unfortunately for you, because of how close you are. Well, you're not close. Never mind. You're at range. You fire that, right? You remember that you had been messing with your arm a little bit earlier in the day and forgot to reattach one of the straps, and your arm flies off. Roll me a d10.
That is really unfortunate due to the fact that because it is part of my armor cannot be willingly taken off of me.
Oh, well, that would be convenient for you.
It
Okay,
is.
so then the story effect wouldn't work then. Let's see here. I tried to think about appropriate negative.
You were pulled that many feet towards it.
I mean,
You got your wires
sure,
crossed.
Can you be willingly moved? I assume.
Yeah. I mean, I technically this wouldn't be willingly, but yeah, I could be moved. It's just I can't lose, like because it's
Gotcha.
part of my armor. Like
No,
it's one of those
that
things.
makes sense. You're good. So as you fire the second shot, again that strap goes loose and you get flung in a random direction. Roll me a d10.
Okay. But it's a 6.
Okay. So if you're facing this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's appropriate. So you fly this way. Go ahead and roll me a d4.
Sure. That's a 1.
You fly 5 feet in that direction. That's it. You're still standing. You just kind of like flung really hard.
It's just. Whoa.
Whoopsie.
That was unfortunate.
You still hit him, which is the most impressive part about that entire situation. Who's next? Unless you have more to do. Well, no, you critically failed, so nothing more. Sorry.
Our combat engineer is back.
I was going to say he died for 0.2 seconds. I think it is the monk. It's the monk or
Okay.
Mozak, one of the two.
I'm last.
Next after Val is the Fran.
The Fran.
Okay.
Fran, you were right
Can I
here. You can literally move 1 to be in range.
All right. Still hidden from the starting point, though, right?
Correct. You are
All right.
You are technically hidden for this attack.
Okay. Can I tumble roll while hidden up before starting attacking?
I mean, do you want to tumble roll into that position?
Or
there's nothing really in the way to stop you.
Oh, true. Still hidden though, right? So
yes.
So advantage?
Yes.
All right.
On the first attack.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Whip out the old nunchucks. Just gonna swack kick. Yeah. First attack. Nice with the advantage, nat 20.
Ooh.
So also I have the crusher feat, so until the beginning of my next turn, since I critted with a bludgeoning weapon, everyone's attacks have advantage on this creature.
Oh my god.
Just whap.
I think he's screwed.
So
I don't think he'll make it.
12 with the first. And now I'll roll with advantage again. That is a dirty 20 to hit. That hits, right? For 10 damage.
He already burned up his dodgy dodge, so you just keep backing him. And the kick?
And the kick is a 23 to hit. which for 7 damage.
Okay, so total damage was 12, 7, and what was and 18?
Yeah.
12, 7, 18. So 37 points of damage.
So,
Plus
whap, whap, whap.
the 15 he took from the arrow from unseen, plus the 12 and 15-ish damage from our handy dandy lightning lure. It did.
Oh, just kicked him into dust, huh?
So as you kick him for that final schwack, you catch him across the shoulder, right? Here, actually, I'll roll body parts die because by a bit. Left arm. So yeah, you catch him across the shoulder, right? And as you do so, his body just crumples. Again, it is surrounded by this dark moonlit aura that just crushes him into nothing.
All right. Vegetated him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next in initiative is going to be Rhett.
Rhett, there's no enemies that you can see, but you do remember the roar from earlier, and your fighter did present you with some information.
So is that roar coming from another room? Is it coming from the well? Where are we hearing it from?
Yeah, it reverbed through the ground for you guys. But it's safe to assume that this well leads to something. So that would be the most likely source of tomfoolery.
Okay. I am looking at my spells right now to see if... So, Profi's still invisible, but that's not going to last much longer.
It has been 6 seconds, so I have a whole minute left still, mostly.
Okay. Can I... Oh, yeah, here's a good idea. Okay. So I'm going to walk up to the edge of the well and look down.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can make it? You're right there?
All right. And at a range of 120 feet, because that's the max distance, I'm going to cast Dancing Lights and try to see the bottom of the well.
So the water that the well is attached to literally comes up to where you can see it. Like, you could grab a bucket and pull fresh water out of this. Though, as I said before, it's covered in moss and mold and things. So I wouldn't necessarily drink it. Which you guys might want to note that moss in a holy temple is generally not a good sign.
Right. So I'm going to assume, because the other enemy is in the lineup, that we're going to meet it. So I'm going to prepare everyone as much as I can.
Okay.
Can I get as far away from the well back towards the door as I can get?
I mean, you could burn another action to do so, but then you would only have a bonus action left on your turn.
Okay, let's not do that. Okay, I'm gonna... Where's Fran? Is Fran next to me?
She is 3 squares over. So she's right here, you're right there.
Who is next to me?
Profi and Val.
Okay, screw it. I'm gonna tap Val on the shoulder and give her some invisibility.
Val! No one but Grandma can see you!
It's just another day.
And with my bonus...
That's some social commentary I wasn't ready for.
Someone talking, I didn't hear anything. With my bonus action, who burnt... Oh, it was Grandma. I'm gonna inspire Grandma.
Grandma! Jenny over here. You are muted, Grandma.
I know how we're going to explore the well.
Throw me in.
Right. Seagulls can dive up to 500 feet, and we happen to have a seagull.
Not only that, but you also have somebody that doesn't need to breathe.
Wait, time out. Did you just say
Throw me
seagulls
in.
can dive up to 500 feet?
Not 500, 12 meters. Sorry, they wrote the wrong thing on the...
I was like,
I was gonna say, that was a
there
lot.
are some fish that can't go 500 feet. What do you mean seagulls can just become a squid?
The headline on this is seagulls can dive up to 500 feet. And then the information on the fact is seagulls can dive up to 12 meters below the water's surface.
So that means they fly up like 450 feet and then dive at full speed to get down 12 meters. Noted. I just want to point out that this room does not have that much space, so your water penetration is going to be like a foot or two if you seagull it up.
Dang it.
But we do have an invisible person that doesn't need to breathe.
This is true.
Who is more than ready to just start electrocuting everything in the water?
Right, I was going to say, do you really want the lightning rod in the water with the well? You can hurt yourself. That is an ow yourself situation. Looking at both Spain and Younger, you guys know what happens when you electrocute the waters.
You can shut up about that.
I also have the ability to absorb elements as a reaction. So it's lightning bolt and then absorb element.
Okay, combo breaker over here.
I
All right.
I have a question about spells.
Okay, what's up?
Could you cast Edward's Black Tentacles inside of the water?
I don't see why not.
Okay, because most of the time it just says like on the ground, so I didn't know if it counted as like a ground-like surface.
So you would still have to attach it to you can cast it on the top of the water, right? Because that's like a ground-like surface. Or when you're in the water, you can cast it on the ground of the water, but it can't just be like an open plane in the middle of the water anywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it still has to be attached to the ground, right? If that ground happens to be the water's surface, because you're above the water, cool beans. But if you're in the water, it's not like you could just anywhere. Because
No, that was my question. You answered my question. Okay. Cool.
Next is Marzex.
Yes. I walk over to the water. You said there was dancing lights in the water now, though, correct? How deep was it?
You did not actually cast it.
Oh, okay.
The water is covered in algae, and it doesn't look like you can really see into it that
well. Okay. Well, I could do something about this, or I could just leave it alone and let you guys handle it. Maybe you'll get a new pet.
Would you like to? Would you like to walk forward into the room because you are currently outside the room, way back here?
Yeah, I would like to walk forward, and I will probably walk to the library.
Okay, you can't make it to the library. You can make it right about there. Corner of
the okay, well, I would have walked probably 10 feet. If there's shadow, like it looks like there's shadow right there. Is there in the place?
Technically.
You're glowing.
It doesn't matter if I'm glowing.
I'm not gonna let him lose the teleport power. He just basically has to go with fairy lights on.
Because I would use a bonus action to teleport up to 30 feet to the shadow over there. And then continue walking into the other room.
So I thought the teleportation took your movement speed.
No, it's a 30-foot bonus action teleport.
Okay. So you're gonna say F the rest of the party, I'm teleporting here, and then 30 feet into the next room?
Well, not necessarily 30 feet, but open up the door or whatever and peer inside.
There isn't a door to open up or to break into. It has long since crumbled.
I will go in briefly and attempt to perceive what's inside.
For the second time today, you have entered a library.
Yes.
Right,
those boots are my favorite magic item I've ever given.
I cannot wait to figure them out. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just walked into the library, so 6 here. So this is stocked with scrolls and religious texts and treaties. Some of them have withstand the test of time relatively well. You see one of those spike ball things that you saw in the other room, but it has long since been destroyed and is crushed in one of the corners. underneath it, you see a destroyed table and whatnot. There's rubble. There's rubble kind of all over the place, and you notice that there would have been a couple more book stands, but they have long since fallen apart and collapsed.
Okay.
One second as I turn things off and turn things on. So the others are still in combat, so you can't really do anything with that information that you have yet.
Gotcha. Well, I still have a regular action, so.
But what would you like to do with your action?
If I would like to see if there's any like other threats, like
Sure.
if there's any
Roll it.
statues or anything. I got a total of 13.
There are no perceivable threats, and from this room you can see the entrance that looks to go west, but there seems to be a door barring the way. Like you can't see the next room. There's a locked door, and like the rest of the library, it's actually in relatively good condition. That's all you can glean from the information. Who's next?
Next is the dino.
Angry Leoplorodons. Na. So, you hear... I know. They're Plesiosaurs.
Hey, guys.
I'm making it again. What's up?
I got to step away for a couple of minutes. It goes Dino, then Profi, and then me. But I should be back by the time it's my turn if Profi does something fun.
Me? Fun? No way. All right. Anyway.
I'll be back.
Angry monsters are loud as shit as they burst out of the water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. They all kind of dolphin dive out sporadically, and fill the room with giant, large dinosaurs. There's 5 of them.
Large creatures are 4 squares.
No, large creatures are singular squares.
Now, hear me out. They're all covered in water, and they've connected the water.
Hear me out. You can do whatever you think is appropriate to these people, and I will not be upset.
Do they trigger attacks?
No, not with this movement.
Lame.
Yeah, sorry.
It's the placement movement. It's their jumpy jumps.
Yeah, basically. Because of the cover that they received from the thing, you basically couldn't attack them while they were jumping out of the whatchamacallit. But that's their entire turn. Since they critically failed on their initiative, their turn is getting out of the water safely.
Nice. Oh, then it's Profi's turn.
Profi, I'm still invisible, so this poor fool right here, he gonna get it.
Gonna learn today.
Oh, he really gonna learn today. 14 plus pluses is my high roll. Definitely hit by far. So D8 plus all these D6s. Not a 4. I'm re-rolling 2 of my dice and keeping all the rest of them. That was worth it. Good. Both dice improved slightly. That's that. All right, fun guess. How many 4s do you think I rolled on this set?
4.
Any other guesses? I'm not gonna tell if you're right or wrong. Good guess.
How many dice did you have?
8 total.
I'm gonna say all of them.
Okay. Any other guesses?
I've got a Price is Right this one and all -1.
So 7. And last but not least, Younger.
3.
You're all wrong. It was 5.
Dang.
Hey,
but who's the closest without going over?
Yeah, right. 37 plus 4 is a lot.
Plus a 10 if you need it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll throw it on there because I don't like this dinosaur thing in front of me. take an extra 5. So 41 plus 5, 46 points of damage on just the first attack. Thank you. Second attack, still have advantage because I'm still invisible. Alright, well, 2 8s, or 2 8, so definitely roll. Plus 9 is 17, still hits. Lay large pokey pokey plus 4. A whopping another 5. Total, unfortunately. And bonus action stabby stab. Again, at advantage. 2 18s. Wow, that's 2 doubles in a row. I don't know what the math on that is, but I'm a little impressed. What? Another 4. So I'll take 4 more pluses. So that's 9 to the 46 that I did. 55 points of damage. This thing comes out the water and an invisible source just stabbing it in the neck and whatnot. It's not still alive, not happy. Can you explain to me why this thing has a lower CR but way more health?
Because it's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur, indeed. All right. Anyway,
Stupid.
that's all I can do. Next is the
Granny.
Next is Granny.
wow. Timing.
Yes. Wow, what are all of the enemies on the map?
Those are all the plesiosauruses.
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
There's 5 of them.
Well then.
As I said before, this encounter is highly confusing. I don't like it.
Well, I'm going to full attack the one closest to me. Hello?
Okay, do it.
Okay. So this attack is going to be wait, do I have to cast Green Flame Blade the turn before I use it, or do I cast it the turn that I use it?
Turn.
Yeah, it's that turn. So you cast the spell and it lets you do a melee attack.
Okay. So I am going to use Green Flame Blade to attack with Staffy McStafferson. And I am going to use the catapult ability on the staff and the trip attack commanders, or the trip attack superiority die.
So would you like to move to a tactical position?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you're right there. You're still in target of this guy, but that gives you the possibility to hit 3 creatures. Because home rule catapult, it doesn't stop till it stops.
Okay, so the attack is a 26 to hit.
Okay.
And then is Green Flame Blade save on their part at all?
No.
Okay. So that will be.
So how are you using Green Flame Blade with a spell?
I'm not using Green Flame Blade with a spell. I'm using Green Flame Blade with an attack that casts a spell. When I hit a creature with the staff, I can cast Catapult on it.
He's activating a magic item, not casting a spell.
So I'm casting Green Flame Blade,
Okay.
using the attack of Green Flame Blade to use the staff. The staff activates Catapult when I use it.
Okay.
And then Trip Attack is just my
Gotcha. So
bonus action.
you're hitting the one that I beat up and then throwing a catapult at the other yahoos.
No, I'm going to move forward and I'm going to catapult. You can't see which one I'm pointing. Move forward and catapult that Yahoo into his friends, attack him, and then Green Flame Blade's flame is going to jump out and hit the guy that you're attacking.
I don't know how to tell you this, but he is not wearing nor is 5 pounds.
I thought it launches a creature.
No.
No, it launches an object 5 pounds or less.
So, like, if you hit someone with it and activate catapult, usually on a humanoid, they have a weapon or something on their purse or something like that you can fling off them. These are giant dinosaurs that don't necessarily are carrying anything. So, in this instant, you basically be, instead of flinging the monster itself, you'd be flinging a rock at your feet.
Then how does that... Because the way you described this weapon to me is that it casts catapult when I hit with a weapon attack.
Yes.
So what is it catapulting?
Again, usually when you hit a humanoid or something like that, they have things on them that you're basically flinging off of them.
Oh. So it's like a disarming thing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's still a very aggressive spell, though. You know, it's a 3d10 on a hit.
Can I called shot
can also
to hit its mouth and catapult its teeth?
No. But you can, just as a note, you can just use it as a normal catapult. So again, if there's a rock or something on the ground that you want to cast catapult, you just slam it to activate it or whatever, and it casts a spell. So if you have something you want to fling, you can just fling it normally. In this scenario, right now, you're going to hit either the one that I goofed up or the other one that hasn't been touched, and then activate catapult to fling the attack. And it'll just be a rock on the ground.
Okay. But would that attack then hit the rock, or would it hit them?
No, it throws the rock. The rock is the 5-pound object that's getting yeeted.
Okay, but then I wouldn't be using the green flame blade attack and everything.
Right. So you could, but you'd be hitting this guy, right? With the staff attack, which is why I wanted to clarify what you were doing. Because the green flame blade does not activate off the thing that gets catapulted. It activates on whoever the heck you hit.
With a weapon attack.
Yes.
Okay, so the rock counts as the weapon that green flame blade is firing on.
No. The green flame.
This is why I don't use spells, people.
Okay, so look, green flame blade is a melee weapon attack. So you cast it on your weapon when you're swinging it, right? Because you're making a melee attack. Whoever you hit with that attack activates the green flame blade ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the catapult goes off separately. It's a whole separate action. It picks up a rock and yeets the rock.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot combo the catapult and green flame blade together. They can happen at the same time, but they are not like bouncing off each other at all.
Okay. And it's only a single object. I can't like catapult caltrops.
I mean, sure. You had caltrops to catapult.
I mean, they're on my person. Catapult the whole bag.
It has to be.
Yeah, I'd have to toss the bag or something.
Yeah, or throw it on the ground ahead of time.
Yeah,
that'd be terrible for plesiosaurus. Damn.
100%. Like, that's a really creative idea. That might be worth the bonus action to. Oh, you already used it to use Green Flame Blade, but in the future, it might be worth it.
Wait, is Green Flame Blade a bonus action?
No, it's a full action. Sorry.
Yeah, so then I do have my bonus action if I don't use trip attack.
Would you like to yeet your
yes
wannabe shotgun?
Yes, I would absolutely like to do that.
You do so. Your thing of caltrops sits on the ground. It's less than 5 pounds, so you can basically eat the whole thing, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
So hit your dude, do the damage, and then we'll figure out catapult.
Okay, so regular staff damage is 1d6, right?
Okay. It depends on if you're two-handing it or one-handing it.
One-handing it because I have a shield.
Okay, so yes, 1d6.
And that is going to be 3, 4, 5 damage. Woo! And then he takes 2d8. And the next one takes 3d8. Is that how the Green Flame Blade works?
Because we're level 13.
Or is it 1d8 and 2d8?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, 1d8, 2d8.
Okay.
So that's another 4 damage to the first one, and then the one that you're attacking is going to take another 6 damage.
Okay. He's still up, but looking rough.
Okay, and then the Caltrip Catapult.
Okay, the Caltrip Catapult. So as you activate the spell, which is a first level spell, it shoots the thing in a 90-foot line. Usually, it just does 3d10, or whatever the spell is. It might be 3d8. I don't remember spell last. I like the catapult.
I have it up.
Okay, what's the spell regularly?
The catapult is regularly 3d8.
Okay, so because you are firing this and it is a quote unquote weapon that does 1d4 damage when you walk over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to add 3d8 plus 1d4 when you yeet it. As a bonus, because it is a bag of them, you will have a. Let's see here. How heavy is that thing? What's the weight on a Caltrip bag?
Caltrip 5e is weight is 1.
Okay, so it's only a pound. So we'll say each one of these Caltrips is 2 ounces. So you have the equivalent of 8 of them in this bag. That sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
So you will get to sheet 8 of these things, and the catch 22 is I will let you assign how many of them hit the target in the line, because as soon as the object touches the Yahoo, right, it stops. So basically, you can burn up as many Caltrips as you want on the target, and the other ones move to the next target in line. And since you're eating a 1 pound bag, you have 8 projectiles. Now, you can only activate the 3d8 once per character, but the number of Caltrips is up to you.
Okay. So I am going to do 2-2-4.
Okay. Roll it as if you're making attacks on each of them. Actually, sorry, I think they save. They save or is it an attack? No, it's a 90 line.
Catapult is dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Half damage on save?
Yeah.
Alright, so first, what's your spell save DC?
My spell save DC is charisma?
That would make sense. Or intelligence, it's one of the two.
Oh, intelligence.
I vote that they get disadvantage on saves because they're out of water.
That is
They're
not,
flip.
that is not a thing for them. They're just slower out of water.
So that is going to be an 18.
Seriously? Damn. Okay, well, let me look at their pluses here. I don't think any of them are going to
Because I have max intel.
Okay, so of the 3 of them, the second one saves and takes half damage. The other 2 take full.
Okay, so first one is going to take 3d10 or 3d8
plus 2d4 or 3d4
plus
whatever you decided.
2d4. 2-2-4 is what I did.
Okay, so the last guy's getting it.
Yeah. Okay, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Nice. Next guy?
Next guy is taking half damage. And he takes 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 damage.
Okay.
Or 9 damage because he takes half.
Yep, and then the last guy, full damage.
Last guy, we
I
gotta
just want
get
you to
some.
know the last guy missed his save by 1. If he knew that, he'd be very angry. But apparently he's just dodging 4 of these little things, so the giant dinosaur can only wiggle so much.
Okay. So we have here Oh, that's not good. 8, 9, 10, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Wow. So first guy, ow, a little bit of oof. Second guy, not so much oof. Last guy over there, like, I am bleeding, I am dying. They've hurt me grievously. I just want to point out that this 4 over here, just all of them not happy dinosaurs. All right, who's next? Unless you have something else you can do. Which you should.
I have
Good.
nothing unless I action surged, which I'm not going to. But I'm gonna let it pass on.
Thank you. Next.
Next is the enemy, which is gone. Yeah. So Val.
Val. There's a dinosaur
Alrighty.
right here.
There's a dinosaur right there, and I think I'm gonna punch it.
And you're invisible.
I am invisible. You're correct.
And it's greater invisibility, so you can do whatever mean things you want in the shadows, and no one will ever know, except for Granny. Granny sees all.
Granny sees all. I'm gonna punch it with some thunder punches. 19 to hit.
Hits. What's the range on this? Or are you using your lightning launcher?
It's I just walked up to it. I'm punching him.
I had advantage.
You were correct.
19 definitely hits though.
And inspired.
Alrighty. Next one is a 22 to hit.
Also hits by far.
And then I can use the D10 for damage, right? You said?
Yes, you can.
Yep.
That's fabulous. So the first damage was 7, and then the second was 6. So 13 plus 2, 15.
Okay.
Yep. So that'll be it.
Okay.
Next.
That's so much tamer. I love it. It only took 2 minutes. Instead of 27 over there. God damn. How to get your shit together. All right. Next.
Next up is Fran.
Fran, you want to move forward one and finish off this weak plesiosaurus?
Yes. Gonna go for right. Gonna swack it with a nunchuck.
Roll to hit.
That is 12. Does 12 hit?
12 misses.
You're inspired.
Yeah, I'll use that inspiration on that 12.
Okay. Roll damage. Because you literally miss it by 1, so you can't miss it for your inspiration.
Okay. 7.
Total damage?
That's 7 damage from the first smack.
That's all it took.
Oh, okay. As it crumples over, can I just like roll over it and move into the next one?
Yeah, you can stand on top of its body. You're standing next to your friend if that matters to you at all. This one's in relatively good health.
Okay. Since it looks like it's doing pretty good. Well, second nunchuck strike. Nunchuck. Does a 23 hit?
Oh yeah, it does.
All right. I'm gonna make this one a stunning strike.
Ooh, solid choice.
The con DC is a 17.
I have bad news. That's what I rolled. The 4 pluses.
Dang. Okay, that's all right though. And the damage is 8, and then going to do a 1-inch punch style attack here for the last one, and that is terrible. It is after plus is a 10, so miss.
A 10 total misses.
All right. But yep, that's right.
You're good.
That's my turn.
That's your turn.
Okay. After Fran is Rhett.
Rat.
All right. So, for my first action, the least hurt appearing plesiosaur. Which one is it?
This guy right here.
Okay.
I was gonna
I'm
say
gonna
you were
turn
pointing at the wrong one.
Oh yeah, I was like, I had to do the math in my head and be like, who's hurt? This one's goofed up. This one's goofed up. That one's kind of hurt. That one's barely hurt.
Okay. I'm gonna turn him into a goat.
Con save, I assume.
That is. Come on. I don't think there's a save.
There is a save for unwilling creatures.
Wait. The new form.
It-
Wisdom save.
It's a wisdom
wisdom
save with
save.
your save DC.
Yep. My save DC is 17.
All right, let's go. Total of 14. So I have the most appropriate sound effect.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
It's one of those you gotta wait till the end.
Oh, it's great.
I'm gonna flip this one over. It's a goat now.
Let's see. What else do I want to do? Who has burned their inspirations?
I have. Sorry, you can't see my hand.
Grandma
This one.
Jenny has.
She has a new one though.
Grandma Jenny has a new one.
Yes.
Oh.
So, Grandma Jenny has had one. Profi, get another inspiration.
Woo! Double inspired. Something getting stabbed.
And I would also like to move back towards the door a couple spaces.
Okay, there's no enemies in reach, so you're good to do so.
And I will be done.
All right.
Okay. Next is Mars.
Marsex from downtown. You're in range with your weapons, and you can see two. Actually, I think you can technically see all of them.
Okay. Perfect. I don't know how nice it would be to. How far away is the original doorway from them as well?
The original doorway is way over here.
Yeah. So 1,
like
2.
60 feet at most. Again,
Okay.
You're
Well,
in a very confined space. I know we don't deal with those very often in this campaign, but there's really not a lot of room.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think you can see it from the angle because the door to the library is actually only about this big.
okay. Well, I still have another creature that's summoned that's over there though. However, I'm just gonna casually cast Eldritch Blast at those 3 guys.
Just a casual Eldritch Blast.
So they added RPG sounds for the soundboard. I'm gonna be clicking them when I cast spells. So I'm gonna find one that sounds good. How's that for Eldritch Blast?
I don't know. It sounded very loud. Does 16 hit?
Sorry, I'll get that for you. 16 definitely hits.
Okay. Well, then they all hit, even with the critical roll. Can I just roll 1d10 for all of them?
Yes.
Okay. They each take 5 damage.
Okay.
I shoot all of the ones except the goat.
Okay. Hurt. Still alive. So this one's looking super rough, and this one's looking kind of rough.
I have my Minotaur step into the big room.
Your Minotaur sleeping.
He is not sleeping.
Sleeping. He ain't there.
He's literally on the other side of the door. He helped clear the entrance.
That's the wrong entrance. No, I'm kidding. You could have brought him on. I just gotta find a token for him. All right, he's gonna be a badger right now because you don't give a fuck. There you
Okay. And he's gonna walk directly across to the kitchen.
go. The kitchen is barred.
He'll walk over to those bars
There
and
are
attempt to break
enemies
them.
in the way.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll just walk over there and wait behind everybody.
There you go. He stands behind Grandma. Grandma, you have a giant 7-foot minotaur thing behind you.
I've noticed.
Hopefully, yeah, you did. You of all people, you saw. Most people feel its presence. You're like, I could count your rib bones.
That is all I can do.
After Mars is the dinos.
All right, they actually get a turn. So the goat over there just angry because it can't do nothing. This one's gonna run at the person that casts spells at it. It only has a 20-foot movement though. So I take that back. It's actually just gonna double team on. Oh, that's invisible. It's gonna swim through the water and pop up over here. It would.
Isn't that a goat?
It can just dive through the water. It doesn't have to get out. It can just go there.
Can it drown as a goat?
It's not a goat.
That one is
Oh,
not
That's
a
not
goat.
the goat one.
My bad.
The goat is gonna just move this way towards you. It's not gonna. It doesn't have enough movement speed, but it's out the door. There's a goat charging you, Younger.
The worst.
It thinks it's
person
gonna
for the
bite
goat
me.
to charge.
It doesn't know any better. Okay, it's confused. It has legs.
I feel like
It just saw magic bolts fly out of this thing's fingers and hit all of its friends. Anyway, so the only visible person over here is Grandma and the monk. So you're both taking an attack. This one is also going to move it Younger, but can actually get to you. Which will provide our handy dandy friend a opportunity attack because she is invisible.
I thought they only moved 20 feet.
Yes.
This is a very confined space.
Okay, because that looked more than 20 feet.
You are probably correct. It is probably looks more than 20 feet. But again, you are in a room that I have not loaded into. So I do not have quite accurate movement speed.
So
Okay.
smack.
Yeah, roll to hit. You might save Marzex from getting a chompy chomp. As this thing like seal hops over to you. I just want you to imagine this. Just this giant creature just seal hopping across the ground.
I know what that looks like. I've dealt with seals.
Also, how did it get through the narrow door that you just described?
It's still big enough for it to get through.
Mm,
Again, they're a
it's
large
10 by
creature.
10 creature.
It gets schwacked by 7 points of damage.
7 more points of damage. It's upset. Do you have Sentinel by chance? Can you stop it in its place?
I do not.
All right. Well, you're still invisible, and it doesn't see you as you attack it, so it just keeps going. Younger. Does it hit you? Probably not. I rolled a 3.
What's its pluses?
Not even close. It's like total of 8. Okay.
Okay, well,
Monk
it misses.
and Fighter. You both can attack as well. Monk, 15. Fighter, 17.
Miss.
Miss.
They're trying, y'all. They're trying.
I feel like we're bullying the dinosaurs.
I feel like you're bullying the dinosaur. Oh, sorry. It's a +6 to hit, not +5. So, Younger, it was a 9 to hit you. Fighter,
It
18.
still misses.
Monk.
Still misses.
What was
I'm very
16
tempted
for
to
the
turn
monk.
this into a
okay?
zombie.
AC's 19.
Okay, yeah. They're doing their best and failing terribly.
Let's catch it. Let's just start catching them.
I don't think
Make
we have
them
the
into
equipment to
pets.
catch 4 of these things.
Oh,
So-
you don't think we have the equipment, eh?
But they're water. They're water dinosaurs. It's
It's fine. We're going to be going on a boat again anyway. We could tie him to the front and make him pull us faster.
Oh, isn't our we have a dragon turtle?
Yeah.
Not with us. It is in another
No.
dimension.
But like we can have a fleet of aquatic monsters.
Yeah. We have a couple 100 feet of silk rope. We have a couple dozen feet of chain. I mean, we've got yokes and tack and things. Like, we've got plenty of stuff to secure animals.
But long-necked dinosaur animals? DM won't permit one. You're not taking all 4 of these stupid things.
I want magical leopards.
Just knock out the goat and don't let it polymorph back, okay? That'll be a much easier solution. All right, who's next? They made their attacks and failed terribly. Top of the order, Profi.
Yep.
There's one in the water that's relatively hurt. Advantage attack. Hiya! 10 and a critical. There, it's 10. I don't even care. All right, so extra D8 from the critical, extra D8 from the piercer, and then I get to roll these D6s twice. Roll those. Okay, so first set of D6s. Just 10 seconds here. We'll figure out the numbers. 30 for the first set of sneak attack. The second half of sneak attack. 20, 26. So we're at 56 points of damage. Oh yeah, it's super dead, y'all. And then for the actual sword bit. 18 plus 4 is what? 18 plus 4 is 22. 22 plus the 56. 78 points of fuck you damage. There was a dinosaur there. With the 30 damage that it already took from Super Bolt McGee, its soul is rended. This dinosaur doesn't go to heaven.
Do not pass go.
Does not pass go. Does not cost $200. Its body and carcass litters the pool, and as it does so, you notice that the mold sucks up the blood and cleans it almost instantaneously.
And now it's bony?
I mean, they're no, fuck you, younger. It's gone. That one is gone.
Its bones turned to dust.
Okay, next is me.
Okay.
And we're just gonna gonna deep.
Time out.
Oh,
I have that was one attack.
oh.
I help my friends.
Wait, there's a well there.
I help my friend. You're right. I probably shouldn't have. I can just throw my daggers, so I'm gonna ranged attack all the bonuses. D6 if I hit. High is 11 plus pluses still hits. D6 plus 4. 8 whole points of damage on this one.
Plus an inspiration.
I'm actually going to use that inspiration on this D4 that I'm throwing, because I can throw another one. That's my bonus action. 17 and 16, 17 plus is the high one. Again, a D4. See if the 4 streak continues. I've got 4 2 times in a row. Let's go for 3. I'm betrayed because of 2. But I will inspire that with that D10. So 1. 3 whole points of damage. So 11 points of damage on this thing. It looks rough, and that's my turn. Fighter.
Okay.
Finish it.
Fighter. Fighter's gonna start out with a tripping attack, just hitting it with the stick.
It is already on the ground. You sure tripping is the appropriate action?
Yes, I am. The trip attack. Any large or smaller creature must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, I knock the target prone.
It is a seal. How do you knock a seal prone?
You knock it upside down.
He's gonna lay his head.
It's just gonna rotate. Like, okay, I'm just saying. Like, you're gonna slap it in the head. Its head's gonna lay flat. It's prone. Its body will not move.
I like the idea of being on its back.
That is a 13 plus 8, so a 21.
Hits. Roll damage.
Okay. D6 and D10. And that is going to be 7, 8, 9 damage.
Good job. You've murdered it. Unlike the last Leopleurodon, though, sorry, the Plesiosaurus, it just dies. Not by a lot, just kind of slumps over as you crack its neck, kind of thing. So,
Yep.
Younger, it's not bones, but it's recoverable if that matters for you. This one.
Yes,
How
it does.
far am
This
I
one is
from the
not good.
goat?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-ish feet.
So can I get to the goat?
You can. You're kind of on a weird precipice there, but I'll say it's fine.
I am going to restrain the goat.
The goat.
That's pretty easy.
Would
It
you
does
like?
not
Would
wish
you
to
like
be
to
restrained.
use your action surge?
I do have 3 attacks.
Okay, I guess you could plant one of them as a grapple instead of a regular attack, because that's fairsies. And then transpose the third one to pull out an item and tie it up if you succeed on the grapple.
Okay.
Roll.
How do I get 13 every time?
Your dice are
13 plus 2.
13 plus 2.
15.
Fantastic job. You have grappled the goat. Would you like to make a survival check as you try to hog tie the goat?
Yes, I would love to take a survival check.
Roll survival.
That's going to be a 15.
So, for someone who's so prep and pretty, it's really funny to see you hog tie a goat. So you just like scuttled over there, right? Because you're an old lady. You don't like athletically run. You kind of just scuttle quickly. You scuttle over there. You know, imagine if she had a walker, but there's no walker. Just kind of like humping her way.
I have a staff.
Yeah, okay. So you're just staffing your way over there. You get close to the goat and you grab it, roll on the ground with it for a second, then tie it up, and you then had a tied up goat all in the span of 6 seconds. It just was a flurry of items everywhere. There was an explosion, a little bit of smoke and dust, and boom, the goat was tied up.
I having done this in real life a lot, I just imagine him going over there with his staff and like one of the wings on Squawk statue. He just like grabs the goat's leg and like pulls it over, and then like puts it between his legs, flips it up, and then just ties it with something that was around her waist.
I would believe that. That could
100%
how it would be. But I think it's way funnier to have the cartoon smoke cloud, and then magically have a goat tied up. But yes, Younger, realistically, that is what he did.
Yeah, I was probably just using the hempen rope on this one.
That would make the most sense. It is a goat. All right, you've essentially stopped the goat from doing anything crazy. Who's next?
Next is
Invisible Vampire, I believe.
Val.
What is still alive?
There is one goat that is currently tied up and one Plesiosaurus in the back corner here about to attack Marzex.
I guess I'll go fight that one.
You do so. You have snuck up behind it. It doesn't see you coming. You have advantage.
That poor, sad little monster. Time to whack it with the hammer.
Tied up.
I said whack with hammer. Is a 13 hit?
13 does hit. Barely.
I'm gonna damage it.
Did you roll at advantage?
I did. So that's 6 points in the first attack. That's a natural 19 on that second one.
Hey.
So that's nice. And that's 4 points on the second attack.
Okay. It's still up because that was the least damaged one. No, the least damaged one is the goat. I take that back. This one's not doing great either. This is the one that you've hit a couple times, so we're looking. It's now bloodied. next?
Next
Unless you have
is
anything else you can do.
Fran.
Mm-mm.
Fran.
All right. Fran's gonna shove her nunchucks in her belt.
Okay.
Take a 5-foot step up. Since she's an athlete, she only needs a 5-foot step to do a running long jump. She's gonna do a running 15-foot long jump over the well.
Okay.
And then she's got a total of 50-foot movement, so she's gonna move in. See, that's 20. That's 20 feet. So
you make it.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
all right, and throw a bunch of radiant light bolts at it.
Oh, so you're not attacking with your fists. You're throwing ranged attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do the long range attacks later. I'll just do the fists.
Yes, do the fist so I can do sound effects.
Right. Gonna be 4 punches. Yeah.
Oh, I forget this one for when you went over the water.
Perfect. So the first punch is an 18.
Hits.
Okay.
Hey, just roll all your attacks and then roll damage just to make life a little faster.
Okay. The next is a 14. Is a 14 hit?
Okay, next.
All right. Next is a 12. Does a 12 hit?
12 misses.
Okay, so 1 miss. And then a nat 1 on the final one.
Woof.
So whap, whiff, 1.
All right, I will give you a handy dandy decision, odd or even.
Odd.
Okay, odd. Younger, you're odd. It's even. He attacks the invisible person. All right, so I'm gonna roll a percentile check to see if it even hits.
Okay.
It hits. Dang it. Okay, so roll your attack damage because you just punched your invisible friend in the face on accident.
All right.
You tried a wide swing for the last one and just caught your buddy.
We were so close to leaving a combat without any damage.
4 bludgeoning, magical.
Magical bludgeoning damage to Val.
Would that have actually gone through my AC?
That's a solid question. What was a critical fail? So yes.
All right.
You can negate it with whatever you got.
Unfortunate.
I think I have something in my features somewhere.
By the way, y'all, it is 12:30, so I'm gonna
is.
have to.
Yep, it's almost time.
Yeah.
Finish off this
Yeah,
last
it's whatever.
Okay, you take 1.4 points of damage. Give me the damage for the other 2 attacks, please, quickly.
Together, it is 13.
13 points of hacha. This thing is looking rough, but still alive. Next should be Rhett and then Marzex. Rhett, you're way downtown. You want to cast some mean magic from a distance?
Can I reach it walking?
You cannot get to it all the way, but you can get close.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, so you can get here on it.
I'm just trying to see if I have something. Oh, vicious mockery. I'll mock it.
It's so stupid. It doesn't take the damage. No, just kidding. It's fine. It understands. Everything understands vicious mockery. It's a save, right?
I'm trying to find it.
Woo! Crit fail. Double max damage or double damage / story effect.
Double damage. Okay. So double damage will be 4.
Wow, that's rough rolls. You did 2d4.
It is 1d4.
Oh, we are level 3.
Oh wait, no. Hang on. I hit 11th level. It's 3d4s.
Yeah. So you're rolling 64 dice.
6, 7, so 14 damage.
You do 14 points of damage. This thing looks back at you with the utmost sadness in its eyes and collapses.
What did you say to it?
I said you're a stupid slimy bitch and you were adopted.
He actually was a Leopleurodon.
You know, there was supposed to be 5 of these guys, and I don't know where the other token went to. I'm gonna assume I just dropped it in this. I hope you guys.
You blew one up into smithereens.
Ah, there it is. Yep, there it is.
One is a goat.
And then you beat the other 3 up. Okay. So the encounter is over, and I think this is a good place to kind of wrap, so we can do our after action and let people leave and all that fun stuff. So you guys have cleared the first room, the second room, and are currently in the library. Which the worst part about this means I have to now not lose this map in the next however long. But as a side note, you all get some experience points. So everyone here gets 730 experience points each for the combat, plus the 4 hours of playing, which is another. What are we at? 100 per hour, so 4 hours, so another 400 on top of that. And that's really it. You guys didn't complete anything else or do anything super crazy. So total extra XP for this session is 1,130 experience each.
Did we level up?
No, I think you guys need like 6,000. So now you only need like 4,500.
I vote discovering a abandoned temple counts for 6,000 XP.
Wow, good thing you're not the DM.
He was.
And the traveling, we spent how long traveling over the ocean?
I slapped a
did
guard and then
you did not
intimidated
travel
him
the
while he
ocean.
was
You
traveling.
guys are still in the original continent. This is 2 days from Ashfall.
Yeah, but we had to go there.
We'll for sure get it next time.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's you guys should level up going through this dungeon. I'm a little surprised at how fast the time went by. So I don't know where it all went to, because we started this dungeon at the hour and a half mark. Yeah.
We started it at we started playing at like 9.
That's true.
There was a little bit of waiting, yes. But I mean, even then, we're at past the 4 hour mark on total time, but the recorded time, which is where we started actually playing and stuff. Anyway, regardless, we'll have part 2 next in our next session. Again, I got to do some saving and whatnot. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We appreciate y'all. Everyone, give a quick wave and say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out this
Bye.
code Viz Uprising to get your 10% off any of the glitch products. Go check out that Kickstarter. Again, we have links. I'll link it in the description and all that fun stuff. So it's easy to get to. Our links up at the top if you want to check our stuff out. Again, Epic Sages. Freya, you got anything to talk about yours? I know you had just finished your podcast, but this is probably a good place to plug it so people can go back and listen / watch it.
If you guys want to see more of me and my group of people and whatnot, you're able to go to youtube.com/thegildednook, and we've got an entire campaign that you're able to go through and watch and listen to and whatnot. And we'll be starting our next one within the next month and a half or so.
All right.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. Well, again, with adventure in mind, have a wonderful time. Bye.